Alrighty folks, hello there and welcome to another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. Yeah, it's been a couple of days and it's time for me to fire off my second premiere draft Neon Dynasty video. And hopefully we can squeeze another one in. Did a couple of them already, but yeah, well, we did lose our top 10 ranking. But I'm hoping we can climb back up since I do have a better understanding of how this format operates. So let's begin. And I have to say, this is a format where you don't need to prioritize removal as highly, given that the sagas just generate too much value on the first and second chapter sometimes. And then there's just a lot of great spells at common that are 2-for-1s. So removing something off the board is not necessarily the best. That being said, having a bit of removal is still important, but I still think you shouldn't prioritize it too highly in this format. So, pack one, pick one. Premier Draft Neon Dynasty. The pick here is probably the Long Reach of Night. I haven't been too impressed with the Red-White Samurai's deck. I think looking at 17 lands data and trying it out myself, it just doesn't come together a whole lot often, and you have to prioritize some medium cards at common. That being said, this card is excellent. If you are in a Red-White Samurai's deck, you should maybe consider splashing it. But I think it's still important to stay open, and I think I would take a Long Reach of Night as one of the best sagas in the set and one of the top black uncommons. There's the shrines, which I don't think you should prioritize as highly because you would need. Usually shrines are good if you have two or more on the battlefield, but if one of them gets removed, your game plan can kind of fall apart. There's also Rabbit Battery as a nice red uncommon, and then at common there's Spirited Companion, Twisted Embrace, and Voltage Surge. I think I would take Twisted Embrace over both of these, but yeah, the Long Reach of Night is a powerful saga and a great place to start, and I think black is definitely one of the better colors in the set. And after first picking the Long Reach of Night, cards we have in consideration, we have the Modern Age as a nice saga, pretty nice looting effect, and great in the late game if you end up flooding. And then the other card I'd consider here is maybe Leech Gauntlet as a fine 2-drop. Usually, Reconfigure isn't amazing since it's kind of expensive to equip onto a creature. But just having a 2/2 lifelinker down is nice, and also an artifact equipment that you can play early. So it's really between these two. There's also Greater Tanuki, but green is just so deep at common. You don't even if you end up drafting green later, you don't need to prioritize it as much because almost all the commons are at the same power level. So yeah, after taking Long Reach of Night, I don't mind just taking Leash Gauntlet to stay open. Just give me a nice 2-drop with lifelink, and then maybe we can find our direction in the future packs. So we'll take this. Alright, there's the Kuchi Silencer and Prosperous Thief as nice ninjas, so maybe we can go the ninjas route. I mean, Silencer's okay, same with Prosperous Thief, there's not much to say here. Like, the Kuchi Silencer is not necessarily going to generate you value after it connects, as you also have to discard a creature card to kill something. But sometimes the ability is quite relevant, and then Prosperous Thief is a nice ninja for if you can sneak in and deal combat damage, you can make a treasure. But given again that we're kind of mono black, I'm gonna take the Kuchi Silencer here. Lethal Exploit's also a fine removal spell, but not impressive in this format. I'll play a copy, but if you end up playing 2 or more, sometimes it just doesn't do much, since it's removal. Removal isn't great, and only -2/-2 isn't, or -3/-3 isn't necessarily fantastic in this format. So we'll take a Silencer. We'll see if we end up in Ninja's direction. There's so many directions we can go for, and we'll probably try to end up in a Ninja's direction since we have one of the best commons in the set. Moonsnare Specialist here. Dragon Spark Reactor, I'm definitely down on this card. It's a build around, but still very slow. You essentially have to pay 6 mana to eventually sacrifice this and kill something, and then also deal points to the opponent's face, and you have to commit heavily to artifacts, but from what I've been seeing, it seems like ninjas and enchantments are a lot more powerful than artifacts, so definitely a little bit down on red. Tempered in Solitude also had a good rap in the beginning of this, before this set came out, but now it's almost a card that you never really want. And then there's Fade into Antiquity as a fine interaction spell in green, but we'll take Moonsnare Specialist, definitely one of the best commons. And I think they did not give this an artifact or an enchantment creature type, since they kind of realized that it could have been maybe too powerful. And this pack is just kind of junky. We could take like a Tawashi Song Shaper if we end up in artifacts. There's Kami of Restless Shadows, I guess. If we end up in ninjas, could be fine. It's also not an amazing card, but with 2 ninjas in our deck, I could consider playing a copy of Kami just to bring a ninja back to our hand. And then, yeah, none of these are really exciting. This pack is just kind of iffy, so we'll take a Kami of Restless Shadows here. And then probably take a Modern Age here, also one of the top commons. A lot of the commons in blue are very excellent, at least the top 5, and then after the top 5, everything kind of just falls off. So once you already kind of settle with like a blue base, for example, you might want to like pair it. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that green is just so deep. I know I was mentioning blue, but then now I'm mentioning green. Green is just so deep in this format that if you need a fallback color to stick towards, you could fall back into green. If you don't know what you're doing, since the sagas that common are really powerful, and even a card like Harmonious Emergence, 5 mana, 4/5, Vigilance Haste is quite decent. So, but we'll take Modern Age. Walking Skyscraper hasn't been very impressive. And then, if we're going to be doing ninjas, could consider a copy of You Are Already Dead. Don't hate a copy of this usually in the ninjas deck. Sabai Trespassers also can have a bit of utility, I guess. You can use this at 4 mana instant speed to tap 2 things down, but it's kind of pricey, and also it doesn't replace itself. Whereas, yeah, You're Already Dead at least draws us a card if we manage to block something and then kill it. So we'll take a You Are Already Dead. I like the fact that it, again, cantrips. And yeah, we'll take a Dokuchi Silencer here, so we got a second one. Alright, so hopefully next pack we can maybe pick up some Virus Beetles. We could potentially discard 2 Dokuchi Silencer or bounce back to our hands. Just keep in mind, Dokuchi Silencer is not one of the more impressive ninjas. I'm more interested in like Moonsnare Specialist and the Circuit Hacker, but we'll still take it here because it fits our theme and it's what we're trying to do. And then we could always play a Kaito's Pursuit in a ninjas deck, making this card, making our ninjas and rogues, giving our ninjas and rogues menace. Yeah, it seems like no one wants to draft the 3-color samurai deck, and then there's also Clawing Torment as maybe a way to get a blocker out of the way. I guess Suit Up is also a really cool combat trick you could play. The fact that it replaces itself is decent. Yeah, they're both close. They're both 2-for-1s, but I'll take Kaito's Pursuit here. And then maybe we play Ink Rise Infiltrator if we need some way to enable ninjutsu. But hopefully we can pick up maybe some Network Disruptors. Network Disruptors would be nice. And then, yeah, none of these I'm really looking to play. If you see one of these combat tricks and they don't draw you a card, essentially it means it's not good. So as long as it can 2-for-1, like make the opponent discard 2 or replace itself, then it's a fine combat trick. But usually I don't like having combat tricks unless I get a bit more value off of it. So yeah, it seems like maybe we're moving into the ninjas territory here. It's not often that you end up in a straight up ninjas deck, because it requires the correct components to come together. But if black and blue are kind of the open colors and we're getting past the good ninjas, then we might as well go for it. As we open up this pack, nothing much. There's Lizard Blades, which is quite powerful. Acquisitions Octopus as an okay equipment. Not sure if I like it without any flyers. It's just kind of medium. And then Lethal Exploits a Fire Removal. The best card in this pack, it's between like Boseiju and Lizard's Blades, I think. Roaring Earth is also okay, but I've been more impressed by Boseiju. Reaches Skywards. So looking at our black and red, I don't think it pairs well. Because if we're going to be doing black and red, we need to kind of be low to the curve, kind of grindy, looking to do sacrifice things. But I can see maybe taking the Boseiju here. Maybe we end up black-green in case the blue dries up. I mean, Acquisition Octopus is okay. I mean, I could just take this to try it out. But I think the better card is by far Boseiju. I'll take Boseiju here in case we need to lean towards green. One of the more deeper colors. And then we'll definitely take a Life of Toshiro Umezawa. And there's also Blossom Prancer in this pack. Both of these are the top uncommons in the sets. Yeah, it sucks that I had to pass up the Blossom Prancer, but you know, we know we're in black, whereas we don't know we're in green. And Life of Toshiro Umezawa is excellent. Can punish 1 toughness, can pump our creature, and then the worst case scenario, we gain 4 life and have a 2/3 body. So we'll take a Life of Toshiro Umezawa. Definitely a great saga. Ooh, what is this? Invoke the Ancients here. It's going to be a little bit difficult to cast. Definitely an impressive card. But we're probably going to be looking at the ninjas here. And then between Moon Circuit Hacker and Network Disruptor, I think we need some enablers here. Um, we do have some Saga creatures. We do have like 1, 2 flyers already. Um, and we have a bit of ninjas going already, so I think we might need to prioritize the Network Disruptor early on just to get a 1-drop we can play, and then have an easy way to kind of ninjutsu it and get a bit of value by retapping the opponent's creature. Moon Circuit Hacker is kind of appealing though, but I think having our first Disruptor over Circuit Hacker is more important, so we'll take it here, and yeah, it seems like ninjas are open. So I might have missed out on a, whatchamacallit, on a Acquisition Octopus, but it's okay. And then here we're going to take Virus Beetle as a nice 2-drop you can ninjutsu. And then also makes the opponent discards a card. So yeah, if our 2-drops go uncontested early, we can easily just bounce them back and get more value off of it. Dockside Chef is more of a black-red-gold card. Like, I wouldn't mind playing it in blue-black ninjas, but it's not it's not going to fit the game plan and can be kind of awkward. So I like taking the Virus Beetle here. There's also Red Saga there. Kumano faces Shokazan. It is pretty solid. So yeah, the green Invoke is definitely excellent, and you should definitely first pick it. But at this stage of the draft, I don't think we can afford to pivot all the way into green and cast it. It's just a little bit too ambitious. I guess Beseju can find us the forest, but even then, we are kind of heavily committed here. We're looking to be more tempo oriented and aggressive, not necessarily looking to grind. But green is a decent fallback plan if you need to. Here, probably just gonna take a Dakuchi Shadow Walker. It's an okay ninja, and then we just want to just grab as many of these sneaky creatures as we can to enable ninjutsu to bounce our ninjas back if they go unblocked, just to keep looping and doing recurring shenanigans. Otherwise, it's between like Puzzle Maker and Chain Flail. I'll probably go for Puzzle Maker since it has flying. But the more ninjutsu you have, usually the ninja decks get better, because you can just get the ability over and over if you manage to balance, for example, Moon Snare Specialist or Dakuchi Silencer. So we'll take a Dakuchi Shadow Walker, solid 4-drop. And then you could take another Kami here. There's also Nezumi Blade Blesser, which is okay. Probably more interested in Kami or Restless Shadows if we're dedicated in ninjas. And the nice thing is that if the Kami also just goes unblocked, you can also bounce this back and then recast it to get back a ninja. So yeah, we're seeing some synergies here. And then I'm not a big fan of Covert Technician. I know it is a ninja, but it's very underwhelming for what it does. So you need an artifact with mana value less than or equal to the damage. So we're not going to be pumping our ninjas. So it's an artifact that we can cast for mana value 2 or less, which we don't. We have like 1, 2, but we're not really interested in cheating them out. Probably just going to take another Virus Beetle, nice 2-drop to get ninjutsu, nice thing to discard with the Dakuchi Silencer, and then we can even take a Suit Up as a fine combat trick since it replaces itself. So yeah, we're getting all the goodies. Next pack, hopefully we can pick up more Moonsnare Specialists. Maybe we get past the Bomb Rare in the Ninjas deck. Maybe we open up Saito or get past it, or Mr. Umezawa. I think it's not Toshiro though. I think it's like his ancestor or something, or his relative, or I don't know, his future bloodline. It's the one where whenever you cast ninjutsu, ooh, I don't hate the Brute Suit. Usually, Brute Suit is pretty nice if we pick up some Okiba Rekner raids on one. Don't have any yet, but there's a chance we do pick up one. And then just having a Vigilance with the Brute Suit is nice. So keep that in mind. And none of these matter. We have enough 2-drop artifacts. Maybe take a random Depth to the Kami. And then Moonsnare Prototype, 5 mana is not great. I guess there's Papercraft Decoy. Yeah, I don't want a 5-mana bounce spell. May just take the Decoy. It has a bit of ninjutsu synergy, but also not an amazing card. And wow, even a late spinning Wheel Kick should not be an impact. This card's excellent, even along with cards like Fang of Shigeki, so I don't know what's going on. People aren't drafting green highly enough, and I think it's the best color in this set. Okay, even the late Careful Cultivation. Right, oh, that's a nice gift. Tatsunari Toad Rider. So whenever we cast an enchantment spell, which doesn't happen too much in the blue-black ninjas deck, what happens is that you make a 3/3 black and green frog creature token with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you can drain the opponent, and then you can pay one generic one, and then either green or blue to make it and target frog unblockable. But it does need a frog to target. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like our deck is really well suited for it right now, but we're still going to take it since there's nothing else we want to consider. I guess there's Circuit Mender, but this card is just too powerful. So hopefully we can maybe pick up a couple of enchantments to go along with it. But yeah, or speaking of enchantments, I don't mind another Long Reach of Night. Yep, we take it. I think we gotta take it over Octopus and the Kuchi Shadow Walker. But both of these will make the cut. But yeah, could use another enchantment. I guess, yeah, I forgot my first copy, but I would like to definitely want a second one here for Tatsunari. Ooh, and we even got past a rare here. Okay, I don't think this card is like a bomb, but it's a good card. So what it does is when it enters the battlefield, you can exile a target card other than basic land from an opponent's graveyard, okay? And then you can search that player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that same name as that card and exile them, and then they shuffle their library, and then as long as you control Kotos, you may play one of those exiled cards, and you may spend mana as though it were any mana to cast it. So nice 2-for-1. Definitely going to take it over Lethal Exploits, Kaito's Pursuit, and Call Me of Terrible Secrets, which has actually gotten a little bit higher up on my list. But there's Kotos the Silent Spider. Also forgot that we had the Modern Ages enchantment, so Tatsunori should be okay. But Kotos is pretty nice, especially with... Do we take a second Kotos? I think we might want a Moon Circuit Hacker in this deck instead. Yeah, I mean, second Kotos is very interesting, but they have nothing in their graveyard exciting for us to get back. It's not very good. And I could use another cheap ninja in this deck. It's kind of close. I'm kind of liking the Moon Circuit Hacker. Like, we could use a little bit more ninjutsu to bounce back our cards. And then we also, funny enough, don't have a lot of ninjutsu going on. We have 1, 2, I guess, 3, 4. That's it. So I could use another ninjutsu creature. So I would take it. I'll take it over to rare here. Another Dokuchi Silencer. Okay, this deck is really open. I'll take it. Not sure if I want to play the third copy, but I'll put it in the sideboard. I don't think this deck wants a Malicious Malfunction. We're not really a control deck. As we get past another Dokuchi Silencer. We'll take it. I mean, I guess I can take a third Kami of Restless Shadows. I guess that will, I will have 3 copies of Dokuchi Silencer and 3 copies of Kami of Restless Shadows to make up for it, to have a bit of an even split. We'll keep a Reckoner Ray. Awesome. Finally, we got a copy of this. Right, this looks excellent. We'll definitely take it here over Clawing Torment and Shameful Centipede. And then could use a Clawing Torment as a way to make something unable to block, and it's pretty cheap. Not a big fan of Essence Captured in this set, just it's bad against ninjas, and also it's hard to cast with double blue. We're not a sacrifice deck, this is also okay. We'll take a Clawing Torment, not sure if I'll play it though. And then nothing else here. But yeah, we read the signs and we got past the good ninjas. So we'll see what we want to play here. I don't think I'm playing double Kaito's Pursuit. I already have a Moonsnare prototype in the sideboard, right? Nope, I might as well diversify. Double Silencer is okay. I just don't like. It's kind of a, again, it's a fine card. I mean, I could even see myself not playing one. Again, the problem is that you have to discard a creature when it connects, so it's not necessarily like the most reliable strategy. Nor does it really generate you value when it connects. So I'm happy that I actually took the Moon Circuit Hacker. I can even play a Sky Swimmer Koi if I want. Maybe, yeah, one Dokuchi Silencer is okay. Even though we don't have much interaction, again, like, it's not like it actually gives us value. So our deck definitely looks a bit aggressive, for sure. The final card could be interesting here. Actually, I actually don't regret passing the second Kotos to Silent Spider, since I needed the extra Moon Circuit Hacker, and now with Network Disruptor and Okiba Reckoner Raid, we have a nice early game to play. I guess what you can do is the Kuchi Silencer is that you can discard the creature that you ninjutsu'd out, that you ninjutsu'd and bounced into your hand. Not sure if that's really that great, honestly. Like, do I really want to keep discarding my Virus Beetles when I can just recast them to make them discard? Not sure. So let's take a look here. The one drops are nice. I definitely like the one copy of You Are Already Dead in the Ninjas deck. I don't mind the one copy of Dekuchi Silencer. Inkrise Infiltrator can actually be a win condition in the late game because it can pump itself. Don't hate the Leech Gauntlets, although I can see myself not playing it since it doesn't really have any ninja synergies. Like, it doesn't have any good enter the battlefield effects when we bounce it. Yeah, the ones are good. Modern Age, I'm happy bouncing. Inkrise Infiltrate again doesn't have any ETB effects, but still fine. You know, like we could use a bit of evasion and 2-mana ninjutsu enabler. Not the most impressive, but still okay. And I do like the double virus beetles. Don't hate the suit up as a random combat trick since we're kind of lacking removal. Kato's Pursuit could also come in handy if we need to get in an attack. And Tatsunori, I don't think we can cut from the deck since it's just too good. And Brutsu, I do like with Okiba Reckoner Raids. And given the fact that ninjas are quite small, it's decent having sometimes a 4-3 Vigilance. And then with Okiba, it's even better. And then Moonsnare Specialist is more like a 3-drop. I guess we should sort by maybe Ninja Curve. So this is like a 1-drop. This is still a 2-drop. Yeah, this is more like a 3-drop. We're definitely playing this. Double Long Reach, some decent 5s, and then I'll definitely play Dekuchi Shadow Walker just to have a big creature. So yeah, I could see myself cutting the Leech Gauntlets here. I could see myself using a little bit more removal interaction, so I could take the Clawing Torment. It's a cheap way to punish toughness, and it's also a way to make a creature unable to block, which definitely will come in handy in some matchups. So yeah, Leech Gauntlet is okay, but reconfiguring it for 4 mana is pretty expensive. It doesn't really have any great synergy. We have enough 2-drops already in this deck that we don't, and bouncing this doesn't really accomplish much. So I think I can maybe put this in the sideboard and then throwing 1 copy of Clawing Torments. I'm not sure if I played 2 copies, but maybe 1 should be fine. And I think I'd still play Clawing Torment over Moonsnare Prototype. This doesn't seem great. This is also, I guess this cast, maybe we can use this as a way to ETB a creature. I mean, Planar Incision is not bad. Having the ability to, like, again, retrigger Kamiya Restless Shadow, or, one of our sagas could be decent. This is a cast trigger, so even if we flicker a saga, it doesn't trigger the cuts to Tatsunari. So Planar Incision could actually be a reasonable choice, or I can just play second Clawing Torment. The Skystorm McCoy is okay, but I don't know if we need it. And again, I'm not sure if we need another Dekuchi Silencer. Again, discarding the creatures aren't necessarily what we want to do, and is not really that impressive. There's also Depth to the Kami, which could be a okay card. I don't know if I need 3 copies of Kami of Restless Shadows. Maybe not, since the curve gets a little bit too high. So it's between second Clawing Torment and Planar Incision. I don't know. We could even go maybe 16 lands if we want to. Not sure. Let's see here. So what creatures have good entered battlefield effects? Network Disruptor with Planar Incision, Okiba Reckoner Raid, Modern Age, I guess could be fine. This needs to deal combat damage. I guess Virus Beetle could be decent too. So I actually don't hate the Planar Incision. We can have a mix of like everything, a bunch of ways to make a creature unable to block, a way to finish them off, maybe a way to trigger an enter the battlefield effect, maybe protect our creature. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we do need second clawing. Like, I like the ability where it just makes them unable to block, and then we can drain them over and over. But the funny thing is, if we make it unable to block, the opponent can just free roll us with the creature over and over, and then we're kind of incentivized to block the creature in a sense. So it's kind of awkward when you play a spell. The opponent gets to we eventually might need to kill that creature, and then we still end up 2-for-1ing ourselves or 1-for-1ing. So I'm not sure here. You know what, let's just take the Planar Incision. Can be kind of cute with some of our enter the battlefield effects. So what are we looking at? Could go 9/8, or maybe can go down an island since we've seen pretty heavy black and we don't have a ton of blue going on. Yeah, this could be fine. And there are creatures, 12 creatures, so we don't have a ton of creatures. 1, 2, 3. I guess the sagas count as creatures. So let's make sure we check out how many creatures we have. And yeah, I guess we should have enough. Why do they count these as creatures? This doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, we have more than enough creatures. It's just that the sagas, they don't count for some people. So, yeah, let's give this a shot, see how it goes. And our picture, what would be our picture? What's the coolest ninja? Moonsnare Specialist has to be the coolest ninja in this set. I don't think there's any argument to that. And we can finally save our decks. That's awesome. They finally fixed the issue, and then it's no longer showing 5 colors for the deck list. So this should be a fun deck. It could have been better. I mean, no. Actually, yeah, it could have been better if we opened up more network disrupt. There is a Moonsnare Specialist. So there was definitely another player taking our ninjas. But regardless, the archetype was really open around the pod. And I don't think there was any way for us to move out of it. Would have loved like a Silverfur Ninja, the Lord that pumps our ninjas as well. But we'll see. This could be one of the more weaker ninja decks. Not sure. But I heard this deck is kind of complicated to play. In Modern Horizon 1, it wasn't that complicated since it was just so powerful. I mean, we could just run this out, I guess. And then we can always Brute Suit and then maybe attack. Well, we'll keep. The question is, do I run out Silencer or Moon Circuit? Probably just a Silencer. We can always decide to bounce this later. And it's not like we really want to discard anything. So we can run out Silencer, maybe crew up with the Brute Suits. Opponent's playing green, or just play the Inkrise Infiltrator. I guess it's fine too. And then probably just play the Brute Suits since we don't want to play off curve. You're Already Dead is interesting. Probably just attack for 1. Play Brute Suits. This can pump itself into 3 power, so I don't necessarily want to block it the Brute Suits. We could also just run out a random ninja and just crew and attack with both ninjutsu with the Moon Circuit Hacker and draw a card. But we'll be taking 3 here. Ancestral Katana, alright, so we'll be taking a lot more. So opponent in a Dedicate Samurai's deck, but we'll be taking lots here, taking 5, wow. 5 damage is a lot, so I might want to just kill this Eiganjo Exemplar here then, by sneaking into the Kuchi Shadow Walker. I guess we can even loop the loops, maybe I don't need to do it now, maybe next turn. So I could crew and attack. I guess I can always just run out the Kuchi Silencer here. And I guess he could have a blocker next turn, which can be kind of annoying. I guess I could also block and then use You're Already Dead, not sure. Or maybe I just need to kill this immediately before it becomes a problem. So, yeah, not sure here. I think we go for it. We just gotta get rid of this, so yeah, I think we have to ninjutsu this in, since the damage is just going to add up too much. I guess we might as well discard the Inkrise Infiltrator then. Even though it's a ninjutsu enabler, it's kind of weak. So, yeah, we'll discard this. And then take out the Eiganjo Exemplar. And say go. And then with Kami, we can always get back our ninjas. So, yeah, really challenging deck to play. Very fun, though. Fang of Shigeki. I could maybe send this in, or maybe keep this back, since it can get back its, it can get back the, enchantments. So, yeah, if I crew an attack here, I don't think it accomplishes much. Probably best to just stay back here. I guess what can happen is I can block with the Dakuchi Silencer under Narika. He gets back the Samurai, and I can finish it off with You Already Dead. Or I can just trade off my Brute Suit, maybe. I could attack here, and then I guess if he blocks, I can second main Moon Circuit Hacker. Not sure. We'll say go. It's not looking good for us here. The opponent has synergy, and we don't have a ton of removal. But we'll probably block this and finish it off with You're Already Dead, and then we can Kami a Restless Shadow and maybe get back a Ninja. Could see a Fade into Antiquity here. But he's probably just going to attack, equip the Norika. I block, only attacking the 1/1. I could just trade here. I mean, it's not a big deal. Could he have another, could he have like Kappa Tech Wrecker here? If I trade it isn't the worst, but then I would have to maybe run out a creature next turn. I guess that's okay. Sure. I guess he can buy back with Norika, but as long as we can block it, it's fine. Maybe the block was just a little bit too ambitious, since if he has a removal spell, he can eventually buy both of them back. So, hair, at least nothing is modified. Tatsunori, that's not, I guess, Tatsunori could be interesting here. I mean, I can always crew the vehicle and block, honestly. So, you know what, let's run out Tatsunori, and if it dies, we can buy it back with a Kami, so it's okay. And if he tries to kill this, we can in response crew it at least with a Brute Suit to offer a trade. So could see a removal spell here, could see Fade would be kind of bad. Ooh, Selfless Samurai is powerful. And it can also give a creature indestructible, which is kind of annoying. So that's probably going to happen. And I'm going to have to block with Brute Suit here. Opponent can also just pass the turn and do nothing. But I'm pretty sure he wants to attack and generate value here, so yeah, that's going to happen. I have to say goodbye to my Brute Suit. This card is really strong. Luckily, it's not an enchantment creature, but we can at least crew now and block, and then he can give this indestructible and then get back his enchantment creatures again. So a lot of value, and the opponent has a very good samurai deck. So this is not easy, and this also has lifelink. So go figure. So good. This card is such a great uncommon for all these synergies. Okay, so now we might need to take another hit, and then he can get back the Eiganjo Exemplar next turn. So, not looking good here. Moonsnare Specialist could be interesting. I could always just play the Specialist, bounce to 5/3, but then he'll eventually just recast again. I guess I'll just do that just to slow him down, since I don't have any good ninjutsu here. And then no reason to attack here. Using this to buy time is not necessarily best, but it's okay. And if he attacks with Fang, do I block? Probably not, because he can just buy it back again with Norika, and then that's kind of a problem. So I need to be careful not constantly blocking his enchantment creatures. So I'm not going to block the 1/1. The 2/3 attacking is interesting. I guess he can equip, since it's also Samurai. Double blocking isn't the worst. If Tatsunori dies, then I can buy it back with Kami eventually, so it's okay. I don't have any enchantments. I guess I have one enchantment I could maybe cast, but I'm fine. It's absorbing a bit of damage here. I guess next turn he has a Norika here. We can always block it again. And then, yeah, we'll just play out the Kami, and we can even set up a double block on Norika. I guess Norika is going to be 5 power. Alright, get back our ninja. And then say go, and then I think we need to double block this. And then maybe play Tatsunori and Moon Circuit Hacker eventually. I guess he can kill this now, and then attack, and then just get back his stupid enchantments. Yep, not looking good here. Yeah, we're just gonna keep taking a bit of a beating, and then the sad news is that I guess he can't cast it, right? Only this turn, so he can't. Alright, at least that wasn't too bad. Yeah, I guess we can run out Tatsunori, play out Moon Circuit Hacker, and then keep up You're Already Dead. And then by playing out an enchantment, we get to get a trigger here, make a body, and then say go. We can even trade off the body if we want, or block with one of our ninjas and cast You're Already Dead. So luckily he didn't have enough mana to recast the Icon Joy Exemplar. We do have another Kami in the deck that can get back our ninjas, so we can even trade one of them off still. I guess we want to trade off maybe the 3/3 since we can always buy back, so opponent's just doing that. Life of Tajiro's nice, we can take out the 1/1, alright. Don't hate it here. Maybe we should have attacked first, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. Take this out, and then we can also make this unable to block, and then attack for 6, and then still keep up You're Already Dead, so don't hate that. Actually, we didn't have to do that, unless he wanted to trade, but yeah, I'm fine attacking like this, and then we can even throw one of our creatures under bus and cast You're Already Dead, even though she can get back with Norika. But I'm hoping maybe he attacks with Norika. Yeah, and he does, so yeah, I guess I'll block it with Moon Circuit Hacker, because I think that's a ninja I'm more excited to get back if it ends up dying. And then take 4. Could see a removal spell here. We can pump the Moon Snare Specialist and attack next turn, maybe sneak in the Dokuchi Shadow Walker. Hopefully the opponent doesn't drop a bomb. I could see a fight spell here. Spinning Wheel Kick, that's a good one. Okay. We'll just get Norika out of the way. Planar Incision is interesting. We can always bounce the land. I don't actually hate that. So what do we want here? Could gain some life. I guess we don't mind just pumping the team here. I guess we can pump the frog. And then, yeah, I could just Planar Incision here. Bouncing Moonsnare Specialist and then casting Long Reach of Knights. Actually, I don't really want to bounce the land in this hand yet. Let's cast Long Reach first. And then they'll probably discard a card. And then we can flicker the Moonsnare Specialist, bounce to 4/5. And then attack for 5. So getting some nice synergy here. And yep. Next turn we get 2/3, and then we also make them discard another card, so opponent should have maybe kept land. So the bug isn't fixed, so the thing is the opponent still has to discard a card, I think. Not sure here. Yeah, they still have to discard a card, even though they don't have a creature to sacrifice, I think, unless they fixed it. And then I think I'm fine ninjutsuing the Moonsnare Specialist back in my hand, since it just has a powerful ETB, and I can deal more damage. So this is okay. And then we can just recast this next turn to make them bounce something back. So yeah, alright, that was a very interesting game. Opponent had a really nice, powerful start. He was able to grind a bit of value, get back his Fang of Shigeki. But yeah, we still managed to get there. Wasn't the easiest game to figure out, and we were kind of behind, but once we were able to kill both, take out Norika, and also just use our Planar Incision, we were in good shape. So yeah, don't underestimate Planar Incision. Life of Toshiro Umezawa also punished a bit of 1 toughness, which was nice. So ninjas are really fun, and they're a lot more balanced than Modern Horizons 1, because you don't always have those aggressive starts like you would have in Modern Horizons 1, and then ninjas aren't as oppressive. Like ninjas can maybe gain you some life, maybe I guess Moon Circuit Hacker draws you a card, but you're still going to discard a card if it hits again. It's like unlike Ingenious Infiltrator, which whenever any ninja attacked, you drew a card, which was quite an insane uncommon. Um, the Moon Circuit Hacker doesn't count every ninja, and there's no ninjas that count every ninja with their attacks. This hand doesn't look great. We have an early Clawing Torments, no creature to suit up on. I don't think this is a keep. Alright, we have Okiba Reckoner raid on 1 into Brute Suit. I like this hand. I think I need to take the gamble and bomb the land here, since everything else in my hand is just too good. Yeah, sure. I think we'll risk it here, and then Modern Age can give us a second chance to maybe loot if we pick up more expensive stuff. But yeah, this is nice. Okiba Reckoner raid, Virus Beetle into Brute Suits. All very awesome early turns. And then we can even use Modern Age to help dig deeper. Opponent starts with a Reinforced Ronin. Luckily it goes back to his hand, but yeah, it can definitely deal a ton of damage if you're not careful. Definitely want to keep land 3, so I'm going to be hesitant on maybe playing out the Modern Age here. Unless if I get land 4, I might consider playing Modern Age, but we'll see. Opponent passes turn, so maybe looking to cycle Reinforced Ronin, so yeah, probably don't want to run out the Modern Age, so let's just run out Virus Beetle. So he cycles Reinforced Ronin. Ooh, Sunblade Samurai for some lands, interesting. And then our vehicle will have Menace in the future, so that's nice. Discards Flame Discharge, okay, that's a nice discard. It seems like maybe the opponent values cheap creatures here. So we'll probably take 2. And Okiba Reckoning Raid made up for our life total, which was nice. Is this a removal spell, really? I'm willing to take a Voltaic Surge here. Wow, the opponent respecting Virus Beetle. Alright, that's definitely reasonable, since if I ninjutsu back, I'll just get more value. Can always discard Planar Incision, but it's still probably the turn to just play on curve and run out the Brute Suit. And then later we can maybe run out a creature, and then they will have Menace. Ancestral Katana with the Reinforced Ronin can be kind of annoying. Luckily it does go back into his hand, but the damage will add up. I could always crew and block it, honestly, which also isn't a bad idea. Yeah, the damage could add up here. Maybe I crew and block, it should be okay. Since this is going to go to his hand end of turn anyways, I don't really care about bounce. I can't really bounce this, and even if I do, it's not great, so we'll just do this. And then might as well run out the Modern Age here. And then what do I discard? I could always discard one of our ninjas to get back with Kami later. I might want a Planar Incision. I might want to cast Tatsunari next turn. I guess we could just discard the Kami, since it's kind of expensive and there's no guarantee to hit land drops, and then the Planar Incision can bounce things back. I'll discard a Kami. It's a little bit awkward since I know I can get it back eventually. But I think it's okay. I mean, I know that I can get these ninjas back eventually, but I think it's fine since we're kind of light and the opponent wants to spend his whole turn equipping, that's fine. We can ninja this back in. Next turn, Kaito's Pursuit. Ooh, I can make him discard the last 2 cards. So why not use this and then make him discard the final 2 cards in his hand? Seems like a good turn for us. And then we can attack for 2. Michiko's Reign of Truth is scary, so I do need to bounce this. maybe, and then recast maybe this to get back some life. We get a 2/3 here. Yeah, I really don't want him getting another trigger off. So I think we do the Moon Snare Specialist. I could also set up the Tatsunari first. Is it wrong taking a hit? I think it could be wrong taking a hit since the damage is just going to add. So you know what? Let's just do this. And then might as well ninjutsu and then recast the Reckoner Raid. Or sandbag it maybe? Not sure. Maybe this way we can slow him down. Smash him for 2, and then do I recast it? I think I do. As much as I like getting a trigger off of this, I think we just need to prioritize tempo. And yet now he doesn't have anything to pump. However, the Machiko will eventually become a large creature, so I need to keep that in mind. We can always do some block and then bounce with the planar incision. And we can play Long Reach of Night here. Get some nice value. Does he want to lose his card, or does he want to lose his creature? And the opponent realizes, hey, I'm just going to outvalue him eventually, so that's nice. The problem with the red-white deck, not saying that it doesn't happen, because, I mean, it can. The red-white samurai deck can come together, is that white and red are kind of just almost at opposing ends of the spectrum in this format. Red wants to be very low to the ground aggressive, wants to play lots of multiple 1-drops and artifacts, whereas white is trying to be more controlling. It cares more about enchantments more than anything else. So if you're going to be drafting a red-white deck, I think you're going to be more focused towards the white half of it, since not only are the samurais and warriors looking to attack alone, which makes it so that it's more of a slower beatdown deck, but there's also things like Imperial Oath at 6 mana that you don't necessarily want to exile with something like, for example, a Experimental Synthesizer for 1 mana. So yeah, the red-white deck I think can come together, but it requires you to take specific cards at common that aren't necessarily high in power level. Like, I guess the 2 ninjas at common are, I mean, the 2 samurais and warriors at common are kind of okay in white. The Aiganjo Exemplar for 2 mana, for example. The Peerless Samurai for 3, which whenever a warrior attacks alone, your next spell costs 1 generic less. That one seems pretty decent, and also has Menace. And then Sunblade Samurai. So it's I guess the commons are fine, but but there's just better stuff to be doing, like playing Okiba Reckoner Raid on turn 1, playing Moonsnare Specialist, Moon Circuit Hacker, etc. Modern Age, Tales of Master Shishiro. Most of the better commons, I think, are in Sultai. Alright, Reckoner Raid, we can't say no to that, and then we can even follow with Modern Age, maybe discard a land. If the opponent plays a 1-toughness creature, we can punish them with Life of Tajiro Umezawa. So we'll keep, and this is a really nice starting hand. This card is just so disgusting on turn 1. Imagine multiple copies, like, it's almost like if you play 3 copies of these in your deck, the opponent can't do much. As much as I like Virus Beetle, I think we leave with the Modern Age, since it's a saga. We just want to trigger the steps and then get the creature eventually. So, right, Patchwork Automaton has Ward 2, so we can't necessarily take it out yet, unfortunately. So I'm hoping he doesn't play an artifact to enhance this, but that's highly, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. So just gotta get lucky and make sure he doesn't play an artifact next turn, and we can pay for life and destroy this. Yeah, so this is one of the better 2-drops in the artifact decks. Yeah, if he discards this, that means he has another cheap artifact to follow up. Hopefully not. I mean, he's stuck in black mana. Okay, never mind. I guess he's blue. And a Searchlight Companion. So this is only a cast trigger. So the question is, do I want to attack here? Attacking the Virus Beetle isn't the worst. And then even if he blocks the 1/1, I can use life to finish off the other one, or I can just attack with both. You know what, I will attack with both, and then if he blocks the Virus Beetle, I can use life of Toshiro Umezawa to be fine with it. Okay, I actually don't mind this trade. Opponent's wondering why you would make such a bad attack. Well, it's because of this. Make sure I click on the right one, and then we pay for the ward here. I don't have any ninjas in my graveyard for the Kami, so it's going to be a little bit of a while before I might want to play it out. I can still run it out just as a creature, maybe get back something else, not sure. Running out the Kami isn't the worst. I mean, sure, I don't get to, I mean, do I get back the Virus Beetle? So put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. I mean, getting back the Virus Beetle isn't the worst since the opponent's stuck on cards. I could make the opponent discard one and it isn't that bad. It's kind of annoying for them as well, so... Or I can just not, since there might be better stuff to draw. I think I'm down to just try it here. And then hopefully eventually we draw into a Ninja to Ninjutsu the Kami back if the opponent gets aggressive and doesn't have enough blockers. Okay, that's kind of annoying too. Sure. Luckily we should have enough blockers here, so I'm probably going to keep the Kami back and then Memory and Virus Beetle as well to hold off this Heiko, otherwise he can just attack and then bring back his artifacts and then we can still attack for 2. And then, do I run out land? Probably not, just Sandbag as a spell, and even if they make me discard, it's not a big deal. So if he attacks here, I'm probably going to triple block, just in case he might have something. So he might just equip and kill something end of turn, fair enough. But it still needs to tap itself, so... Not the most amazing. Clawing Torment isn't the worst. I could just Clawing Torment and then just attack with all. He gets to kill my 3/3, but then I hit for 5. I guess I might want to save this for maybe 1 toughness creature instead. So maybe I just hold on to Clawing Torment instead, and then attack for 2, and then next turn set up the block, and then... Yeah, I don't know if I want to get him for 5, because he's bound to use a Ninja's Kunai here. Yeah, he has multiple removal spells. So I think, do I Clawing Torment here? I think we say go. He takes out my Kami, and I hopefully double block and finish this off. And then, there's a chance he might not have anything. Yeah, he's probably just going to get back the Automaton, but I can at least finish it off, at least. Or get back the Kunai. Kind of annoying. Oh man, that's gross. Alright, I guess, I'm just gonna have to take 3 here, so I should maybe use Clawing Torment on this last turn. And he also gets to buy back an artifact, Patchwork Automaton, which is bad. And then there's no point in me killing the Automaton because he's just gonna buy it back next turn. So either way is pretty bad. I guess we can play Tatsunori now. That's nice, and I guess get some value here. Just make him recast the Patchwork. Right, this is not bad. It's not great because we know he can get it back, but the thing is, I might as well keep this back, I guess, because he can make this into 5 power and I can at least double block it. We'll see go. Yeah, if he pumps it, then I'm going to go for maybe a double block and hope it works. I mean, he could have another instant here, so it can be kind of bad here, so maybe I do go for a triple block. Sure, I lose Tatsunori here, but it's safer, and I can still get back with Kami if I pick up one of my Kami Restless Shadows. So I'm going to go for this block here. I think it's reasonable. And even if he has a removal spell, 1 removal spell, we should be fine, okay? He can play this out, but then it's still going to take a while to grow, and we can still attack back. Okay, I guess it might not be easy. Inkrise Infiltrator could be decent. I think it's fine swinging for 3 or keeping it back for the Patchwork. I think we keep it back. Play the Inkrise Infiltrator, and then maybe this can start attacking for a bit of damage. We'll see go. Yeah, but these Samurai legendaries are really powerful. All of them are very good. But you do need to be in, again, the dedicated colors to play them, and the dedicated archetype, and, you know. This Heiko wasn't as, this Heiko wasn't as bad as the last one, because the last one managed to manage to whatchamacallit, get back a Death Toucher. But this one isn't as bad. And here I'll take 3, I think. I guess I can pump the Inkrise Infiltrator and block if the opponent isn't careful. Yeah, I guess I can try that. Get a free kill. And hope the opponent doesn't have anything. But I mean, you might as well go for it at this stage in the game. Alright, so I guess we can pump, we might as well play our lands because eventually we might want to pump twice, but at least now we can start attacking, and that's nice. So if we get land, we can put them on the 2-turn clock. Not the most reliable strategy, but a solid creature in the late game when board stalls like this happen. Opponent's looking at my graveyard, wondering what the hell I'm playing. Well, you guessed it right, Blue-Black Ninjas. Kotos, alright, he was looking at that all along. So, yeah, he could easily get something good here. Modern Age, Tatsunori. So I might need to end the game quickly. Modern Age, I guess, to maybe make a flyer. Makes sense. To maybe find some action, but it's still going to take a while before he can cast it. And Kami Restless Shadows was a nice gift, so let's see, is there any cards we want to put on top? We were probably fine just playing this out and then getting back Tatsunori, I think. And then Tatsunori can also make my Frog unblockable eventually, and then we can close out the game. So, yeah, let's attack for 1. And then we could just double block Kotos to prevent a bit of damage. I can also play Tatsunori and pump this next turn. Okay, yeah, if the opponent gets aggressive here, we'll double block with Memory and Kami on the 4-4. Killing Kotos isn't bad here too. Yeah. Just want to prevent as much damage as possible. Yeah, opponent's like a mix of a Grixis Artifacts deck. So you can make a treasure, that's fine. So some decent synergy going. Ooh, I guess we can pump this twice instead. Maybe that's just better. I mean, I could play Tatsunori. I guess I can still play Tatsunori and pump the Inkrise Infiltrator. Or I guess I can do both. Right, how much damage? I guess we're doing more damage by making this unblockable, right? Except with flying and reach, I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, let's just get in there. This is more damage. And we get to develop the board, I think, so. And then we should be able to survive next turn. Might as well run out the land and then say go. And next turn we should have lethal. I might sink my mana to the Inkrise Infiltrator instead. Like, it would be nice to have this ability to make the Frog and it unblockable, as well as pump the Ninja and get in for lethal, but if not, yeah, I guess the Modern Age can block the Frog, Twisted Embrace, okay. And I assume he's going to take out my Tatsunori. Or, I mean, either way, I think he's dead if he doesn't kill any of these, okay, so he's going to take out Inkrise Infiltrator. And then hope he doesn't have a removal spell for Tatsunori. So it's gonna be an interesting match here. Interesting attack. I guess he can make a treasure at instant speed, so I don't want to block. And if he wants to, then that's okay. I mean, I could use it just to force mana, so he doesn't have like another spell he could top deck into, but... Alright, let's hope this next I'm able to make both unblockable and kill him, and it's just a land, so yeah, good games here. I can also make this unable to block. Oh, never mind. I thought this was Clawing Torment, it wasn't. Alright, well, yeah, our games are really clutch. But that was, yeah, similar to the match that we faced against the Enchantments deck. They had a whole engine going, assuming that the Samurai could have survived. I think the Clawing Torment was a reasonable play, just because, it made him, rebuy the artifact again, instead. So, alright, 3-0. Not bad for a Blue-Black Ninjas deck. But yeah, we were flooding a bit that game, but luckily we had Inkrise Infiltrator to deal some damage. And then the Kamiya Restless Shadow bringing back our Tatsunori was really key in that match as well. Alright, we have turn 2, maybe Inkrise or Modern Age, and then into Brute Suit. Probably leave with maybe Modern Age to discard some lands, and then so we can get this out earlier. I mean, there's always an argument that we want to save this to maybe in the later games. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep this for sure. Ooh, Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay. I might want to get the early cheap creature down, because by doing so, I can maybe sneak in the Moon Circuit Hacker. Maybe that's just better. But the opponent's also doing blue-black. Interesting. I could also trade for this 2-1, which also isn't a bad idea. But if he does trade, he gets to draw a card, since he doesn't have to really do it to main phase. So, interesting here. I mean, he doesn't have to do it immediately, so I think we take 2 here. And then next turn, maybe we can sneak in the Moon Circuit Hacker, play out the Brute Suit. Okay, let's see here. We could play the Brute Suit, it's more mana efficient, or we can play Modern Age and Moon Circuit Hacker, draw a card, but I wouldn't. But the thing is, I don't really know what to discard here. But getting the Moon Circuit Hacker down is quite nice. So let's draw a card first before we decide to discard. So let's move the combats, attack, and then I think we can do this. I could also Moonsnare Specialist and bounce this turn. Not sure if that is the correct thing to do. I guess I can always replay the Inkrise Infiltrator instead of looting the Modern Age, since I still want my land. So let's do this instead to get the whole ninjas thing going. And then we can even, like, if this goes unblocked. Okay, so yeah, if this goes unblocked, we can also just Moon Circuit Hacker, loop the yeah, we can get out the Moonsnare Specialist, yeah, get out the Moonsnare Specialist, bounce this back to her hand, bounce back the Inkrise Infiltrator. Okay, opponent might be playing defense here this turn. Okay, Clawing Torment isn't the worst here. Clawing Torment into Brute Suits isn't the worst. If I attack with both, he's most likely just going to end up blocking everything. Could main phase attack with the Inkrise Infiltrator, since he's incentivized not to block, otherwise I can pump and get value. But maybe I'm better off using the Clawing Torment first. But I guess I might as well attack now, and then maybe have a chance to sneak into Kuchi Shadowwalker. Because, like, the thing is, he can pump his own Inkrise Infiltrator, and that's kind of annoying. So now what? I could try something cute. I can Moonsnare Specialist my own Moon Circuit Hacker, and then do the whole loop-de-loop thing, or maybe just sneak this in. Maybe sneaking in the Shadowwalker is correct here. It's just so much damage, and it's going to be really difficult for him to block this next turn, so this seems good. Opponent has his own suit up, okay. So I'm hoping he doesn't have his own Moonsnare Specialist, although that wouldn't be the worst case scenario. Since even if he bounces this, I can just enable Ninjutsu again and get in. Ooh, that's a good one. Life of Toshiro Umezawa. Alright, that's really rough. He gets to take out my Hacker for free. And then now I don't really want to play any 1 toughness. Decides to attack, okay. Could see a Moonsnare Specialist here. Hopefully not. That would be kind of painful. And probably we'll see it here. Ooh, Silencer. Alright, I'll take a Silencer. He can always just discard a card. It's not the worst. And then he's forced to discard something here to kill my guy. Sure. I can make him discard his final card, which is nice too. And then I think I can run out Clawing Torment to 2-1. And then play out maybe Modern Age. And decide what I want to discard. I think I might as well run it out. Ooh, Tatsunori is really good. Maybe Brutsu can go. Um, or the Inkrise Infiltrator. I'm not sure. Maybe Brutsu can go. It's kind of awkward when we don't have anything to crew. I guess he can now kill my 1/1. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have ran this out. But I mean, getting the final card out of his hand was, I think, important still. So we're a bit behind on board, but we should be okay. Opponent can pump here. Kind of annoying, so he gets a Flying Army. Kamiya Restless Shadows isn't the worst. Yeah, just discard land. And then I guess we can play Tatsunori here. Play Inkrise Infiltrator. And then what we can do is eventually we can Kami back the Moon Circuit Hacker as an enchantment. So we'll still be taking a bit of a beating here. Yeah, no blocks, and hopefully the opponent doesn't have anything to ninja in. He might, or he might just pump his Infiltrator, which I think I'm fine with. Okay, Specialist to bounce my Tatsunori, I'm assuming. Alright, that's not the worst. I mean, it's a bit of a tempo loss, but we can always block it in future turns. Alright, so we might as well run out to Tatsunori here, I think. I could attack here and then ninjutsu. I don't know if that accomplishes much. Probably not. Let's just run this out, and then... Yeah, ninjutsuing this isn't the worst, but he can always block it, so we'll see go. Get Kami, get back the Moon Circuit Hacker. I gotta be careful though, because I'm taking a little bit too much damage here. I can always double block this 2-3, and then lose one of them. Invoke Despair, that's not good. Alright, that sucks. Lose this. Lose everything, and then take a million, I assume. Yeah, Invoke Despair was really powerful. So we'll be taking 3. And then we'll probably die next turn if we don't take out one of these, which is not great. Planar Incision's interesting. I can Moon Snare Specialist and then Planar Incision. That could be a reasonable play. I don't necessarily want to bounce back a Saga, though. But I might want to use it end of turn to just bounce back the Infiltrator to buy some time. So we'll say go. So yeah, opponent's just ahead in tempo. Just managed to get the right bounce at the right time. But I think I need to bounce this next turn. I mean, we're going to lose anyways if we can't drain. And yeah, Ninja's Kunai is a problem. I guess he can just shoot me in the face for 3. So probably just going to say GG here. I guess I can always bounce this in response. But then he can just re-equip. So I think either way we're just dead. So yeah, I can't really respond to this. And then giving him an... Ooh, he's going to actually use on a creature. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I'll take it. We're still pretty far behind, but... So it's a 2-turn clock anyways. I guess he might have a ninja he can sneak in here. Maybe a Moon Circuit Hacker. Return to action, never mind. Alright, good games. We got out ninja'd by the other ninja player. I guess that's why Leech Gauntlet could be okay in this deck, because we are lacking life gain, but I still don't think it's great because it lacks that synergy that we need to win the game with. So unfortunately, the only advice I have for myself when drafting this is and playing this is not to fall behind, which did happen. So that can be a problem getting those inexpensive ninjutsu creatures. But let's just imagine he didn't have a way to deal with the Shadow Walker, then we would have been in a really great shape. Good spot since we could have just kept attacking with it. But that was a really close. That was a pretty equal matchup, I have to say. My opponent almost had similar cards like ours. Surprised the opponent didn't try to go for my face with the Ninja's Kunai since it says any target. Okay, Virus Beetle. Maybe we can sneak in with a Moon Circuit Hacker and do the whole loop-de-loop thing. We'll try it. And then I think I want a Virus Beetle in 2 and hope he doesn't have a blocker. Ooh, Long Reach is nice. Alright, let's run out the Virus Beetle. And then if he doesn't have a 2-drop, then we can really punish him here. Another thing we can do is we could also just Planar Incision our own Virus Beetle. Not sure if that's great. So no 2-drop, please. As I say that, the opponent plays a 2-drop. Right, Brute Suit isn't the worst, though. I mean, we can still attack into the Jukai Training, since it has a Pseudo Bushido, essentially. Virus Beetle. I guess we have to say goodbye to Planar Incision. We can always discard the Ninja, because we can eventually get back. Yeah, that could be reasonable, too. Like, the question is, am I planning to play the Ninja anytime soon here? He can easily block. I can crew an attack. He blocks with a Jukai Trainee. I mean, it's a play I can make next turn, though, or I can use the Planar Incision next turn. So it's very interesting here, what I want to discard. The Planar Incision can flicker, but I guess we can get back the Ninja, so I might as well get rid of Moon Circuit Hacker while I can. And if the opponent attacks, I will crew and block. So you go. Clawing Torment isn't the worst. Could see myself using this on a 1-1. I could also use it, seeing myself using on the 2-2, but yeah, we'll just Brute Suit here, I think. And attack and then force the block. And then we still have 2 mana Planar Incision. So I'm fine with this trade. And then I think I Clawing Torment on the Virus Beetle, because there's a chance he could have the Kapatek Wrecker, which is a scary ninjutsu creature. Go Shin Time, okay. I mean, it's going to become a 2-2 anyways next turn. So this is not going to be an easy thing to play against, especially if it just keeps growing incrementally. So we do need to find a way to maybe bounce it. We'll see. Tatsunori isn't bad. Hopefully opponent doesn't play Long Reach of Night on us. Alright, decides to just kill Tatsunori. That's very reasonable enough, and then gets to keep growing the Goshin Tai, decides not to attack, interestingly. Raid isn't the worst. So I do need to get land 5 for Kami. Opponent has his own Wrecker in a raid. Yeah, if this just keeps growing, it's gonna become a problem. But I'm hoping again we find a way to interact with it. Suit Up isn't the worst. Yeah, I could attack and use Suit Up, or wait, or I guess he will suspect something, so we might do it next turn and just say go. He's attacking a 1-1 to this. Using Suit Up isn't worth it. He's gonna bounce back his Saga. Sure, but he doesn't grow the Go Shintai. I'm hoping he attacks here, and he does, so we can ambush him with Suit Up, right? Yeah, that's a really nice ambush here, so don't mind playing a copy, guys. It's a really nice trick to have access to. And now we can play Long Reach of Knights. Can Moon Snare Specialist a Geothermal Kami, but I'm not sure if I want to, since he can just get value off of it again. So I think we just play Long Reach and just try to grind him out here. And say go. So opponent might be sandbagging some better stuff, discarding just the random Virus Beetle. Emergence, unfortunately, comes in tapped, but we can bounce it back. And I can even Kaito's Pursue them if he decides to discard here. I think I'll do that now, even though he could attack me for 4. Yeah, it's reasonable enough, and we can decide to bounce this next turn. Wow, getting rid of some nice cards here. Yeah, I don't mind staying back. Maybe I do just need to double block the Geothermal Calming here if he decides to attack, and then we can bounce the Swamp and be okay with it. Since this has Vigilance, I can't attack with the Virus Beetle anyway, so I think this is okay. Generous Visitor, that's a scary card. But luckily we can bounce to 4-5, and it's almost effectively like killing it. And I think I'll just do it now before I take too much damage. And opponent's also stuck behind on land, so yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, let's move to combat, and I think it's fine attacking. And we can also reset counters with the Planar Incision as well. Still going to keep land in hand because of a potential Virus Beetle. So let's get back a Tatsunori, why not? And say go. And yeah, we got him. Sweet. That turn where we played Kaito Pursuit was really nice. Soul Transfers can be just so powerful and backbreaking sometimes. Luckily, I guess he didn't have any artifacts on the battlefield, but still was a pretty annoying removal spell. And he also had second Harmonious Emergence. So even if we dealt with the first one, he would have had a second one as backup. But yeah, another clutch match. Opponent attacking the Planarns. The Suit Up was quite nice, so I do like that one copy of Suit Up in these decks. Not amazing, not an impressive cards by any means, but definitely a reasonable main deck as a one of in I think any ninja deck, or maybe even 2, since again it replaces itself. Opening hand, okay, it's not bad, not amazing either, but we can always just play a turn 2 Moon Circuit Hacker and we're on the play, so don't like the mulligan on the play. We'll keep. And then we can maybe do a bit of filtering with the Moon Circuit Hacker, assuming it doesn't get answered. And if it does, we can buy it back on turn 5. We can even discard You're Already Dead if it doesn't seem like a good card in this matchup. Opponent plays Inkrise Infiltrator. Am I fine trading this off? I guess I don't mind. Otherwise we aren't doing much. And this is okay. We can buy it back for 5 mana, so it's fine. Next turn we can even run out Moonsnare Specialist to maybe set them a bit back. Silver for Master. Alright, I'm fine bouncing that, I think. Might as well just get this out of the way before there's any other ninjutsu shenanigans going on. And then we can attack, play Kami, get back the Moon Circuit Hacker. Or if he decides to kill this, then we can get back Specialist if he wants. And if he has a trick, we can always use You're Already Dead to finish this off for value. And there's no counterspell for 2 mana, so we can run out Kami, get back Moon Circuit Hacker. And then we can do some ninjutsu shenanigans if anything doesn't get blocked. So yeah, just get some value here. And there's no 3-mana crap to counter here, so we should be fine. And if he bounces any of these, I'm happy as well, so I don't know what this 2-mana ability is. Could be a removal spell. Moonsnare Specialist, annoying. And if he bounces Kami, that's even more annoying. But that's fine. I guess I'm fine attacking and then using You're Already Dead and then get back the Moonsnare Specialist, so I will attack. And then Network Disruptor's nice, but we're just going to keep running out the Kami. And getting back Moonsnare Specialist. So, not a great common, but in the right deck it is. Guardian, interesting. So, that could be a problem. So, we can play lands. Unfortunately, I need blue mana to ninjutsu in the Moon Circuit Hacker, so if I want to play Network Disruptor to tap it down is a bit of a problem. I guess I can still play out Specialist here, bounce a 3/4 and attack for 3, and then we can still play out maybe the Inkrise Infiltrator next turn, or play out Rise Virus Beetle, we'll see. And then smashing for 3 is a lot of damage, so we might as well get in there. Hopefully no suit up, but if he does have suit up, at least we can bait it out. No, suit up is 3 mana. He got the Planar Incision here. And then we'll play out Inkrise Infiltrator. Since he still has cards in his hand, I think it's fine getting the extra flyer out that can also pump and be quite effective. Yeah, Lethal Exploit, sure. So do I want to block to Silver Fur Master? Probably not, since I don't want to lose a creature for free. Yeah, we'll take it, and you could see it get ninjutsu'd. And you definitely don't want to bounce a Kami of Restless Shadows. Maybe see bounce. Ooh, the Kuchi Shadow Walker. Okay. That's a big one. So we probably want to... I guess we probably need to chump the Guardians of Orboros. I can Network Disruptor and tap this down. I guess I might want to sneak in the Moon Circuit Hacker to draw a card this turn. Or maybe use this to pump and deal some damage. So how much is this? 4 mana. I could just make him discard 2 cards for the hell of it. Or just get my Moon Circuit Hacker down. I mean, it would be nice to have double blue, so I can also ninjutsu my Kami, honestly, and get there. So I'm not sure here. I guess I can cast everything if I ninjutsu the Inkrise Infiltrator, double Virus Beetle, draw a card. I guess I'll try that. So let's combat, attack, and then before damage, we'll might as well use it. Moon Circuit Hacker to draw a card. Sneak this in. Get some card advantage. Modern Age is nice next turn. We can just play out all of our 2-drops. They can discard the rest of the cards, and we can even chump to 5/5 if we want. So getting some value here. Yeah, Virus Beetle is such a good common. Yeah, and he even gets rid of Silver Fur Master because he might have something better. I can chump to 5/5 here, don't mind. It's a lot of damage, and I don't want to keep taking 5. We can tap this down next turn and maybe attack for a whole ton, for a whole lot. Sabai Trespasser, so another good ground blocker. So opponent's just keeping ground blockers. Let's Modern Age here. Ooh, Long Reach of Knights. Alright, I guess we can just keep making him discard his cards and sacrifice his creatures. So getting some of that value here. And the question is, do I double block the Kuchi Shadow Walker? I might. Not sure here. I could also double block the Sabai Trespassers. But this is kind of scary, so I'm not sure here. I mean, if any of these creatures go unblocked, he can always ninjutsu something in. I guess I can just block like this. And hope for the best. Yeah, sure. So then he can't ninjutsu anything, and I can at least 2-for-1 myself to take this out. Yeah, this isn't great. Ooh, lethal exploit. Yeah, this is not good at all. So maybe the game plan now is just erase him. And that was also a really nice top deck from the opponent. So not doing good here, but at least we can draw and discard. Okay. Don't hate Dekuchi Shadow Walker. So we can attack. And then let's see if he blocks, and if not, we can run this out. Discard Network Disruptor. And then destroy Dekuchi Shadow Walker. And then we can still play Inkwise Infiltrator, and we'll have enough mana to maybe win the game by pumping our team, and then we're going to have some creatures next turn, so yeah, that wasn't bad. Familiar can pump his flyer, or Sabai Trespassers, not sure what he wants to do here. I guess I can block this still. No, this is 4 mana, I guess I'll just take 8, 6. It's still a pretty long clock for the opponent, so we still have some good blockers and some good flyers. And then now I guess I can pump twice. And that should be nice, so yeah, I can just pump twice and attack. And then we can still block the Searchlight Companion with the Vector Glider. And we also have a menacing creature next turn, so we're in a good spot here. Blue black also just doesn't have a ton of ways to deal extra damage, so even if I just block one of the creatures, I should be fine. Ooh, Reckner Bankbuster can draw him a card, but that's only 2 mana to draw, so it's still not going to be great. He would need something pretty extravagant here to hold me back. Gotta be careful of this Bankbuster though as well, so does he have something here? Maybe a bounce spell for Animus of Night's Reach, but then I can just recast him and make him sacrifice. I think his biggest issue is the Inkrise Infiltrator. Yeah, opponent needs to stay back here. So do I attack with all? He needs to double block Animus, he could always bounce it. I might want to just attack with these 3 and keep the Dekuchi Silencer back, since it doesn't really get in for lethal. I guess it can. So let's say he has a bounce spell here, then I guess he gets a free block here, and then he gets a block here. Nah, he's, I don't know, maybe still correct keeping the Silencer back, or he was just bluffing the whole time, not sure. But yeah, that was a really fun game. Silencer came in handy that game. But again, like, I think it's just a very okay uncommon, not a card you necessarily want to have multiple copies with. Like, the first copy's fine, but you rather just have the blue common ninjas like Moon Circuit Hacker, even Network Disruptor over it, as well as the, again, Moonsnare Specialist, and even Modern Age could just be better. But yeah, in that game it did come in handy. But it's not generating you value, it's just a way to kind of just get something off the battlefield if it's too oppressive. I keep seeing these new avatars. I guess people have bought the bundle. Alright, Reckoner Raid on 1 is nice, and then we can even sneak in Moon Circuit Hacker eventually. I think this is a fine keep, and then Kaito's Pursuit is also interesting. Get out the best common in a set. Network Disruptor, so opponent might also be an aggressive blue Temple deck. We'll see. I'm kind of liking just running out the Dokuchi Silencer. And then I want to Moon Circuit Hacker Ninjutsuing the Cuba Rekna raid, because that's just a lot of value. I guess he could just run out his own Moon Circuit Hacker, so... Alright, probably opponent's going to draw a card here. So I probably want to just offer a trade next turn, and it's probably best to just offer the Dokuchi Silencer as a trade, since it makes me go down a card. And I can't allow this to just keep connecting, so... Yeah, let's just run out the Silencer, and then... say go. Next turn, we can maybe play Kaito's Pursuits. But I definitely want to block here if he attacks. I mean, discarding Shadow Walker and trading for a Moon Circuit Hacker doesn't seem like it's worth it. I guess he could play the Network Disruptor to tap this down. Okay, Clawing Torment isn't bad. That's a good one. So opponent gets to loot and get some value here. A little bit annoying, but at least he isn't just drawing a card for free. Hopefully I can top deck something good. Yeah, I guess I might want to just block with Okiba Rekna Raid on Moon Circuit Hacker. I guess he's just going to tap it down next turn with the Network Disruptor anyway, so maybe I just need to take another hit from the Circuit Hacker and take it from there, and then I might as well play the Kaito's Pursuit to make him discard 2. Suit Up. Suit Up could be interesting as well. But I think Kaito's Pursuit is fine here. Make him discard 2. This way we can at least play this on curve. And then next turn we can attack and maybe sneak in the Circuit Hacker, replay Nezumi Road Captain. Alright, decides to discard these 2. Interesting. So I might go for a block here actually, if he decides to discard the Network Disruptor. Moonsnare Specialist bouncing Captain isn't the worst. I mean, I'll take it. If I get to just keep draining him, it's okay. And then I might just run this out to offer a trade now, since it can be kind of scary. So yeah, you know what? Let's just run out the Reckoner Raid here. Run out the Moon Circuit Hacker and then offer the trade. And then between both of these creatures, which one do I want to block? Probably the Circuit Hacker. The sad thing is if I don't block the Specialist, he gets to maybe loop it over and over again. So I think we block the Circuit Hacker so he doesn't generate any card advantage or value if he decides to discard. Yeah, he could have another Specialist, he can bounce a Specialist, bounce the Moon Circuit Hacker, Shadow Walker, okay. That's a scary card. Alright, we'll be taking a bit of a beating. I guess I can still make him discard here at least, but we are definitely missing our land drops and that's going to be a problem. I don't really generate any card advantage if I need to chump with the Virus Beetle. Okay, so so he might just play this main phase just to bounce, but then we get to make him discard his final card if he wants to. But yeah, we're missing our land drops, so it's definitely not good. We'll take it here. We can at least get a body next turn, I guess, to maybe suit up and go for a double block. I mean, that's not the worst. It's bad if he decides to main phase his spell. So we could just run out Long Reach of Night and see what the opponent wants to try here. I guess I can sneak into Shadow Walker, but then I guess he can bounce it back with Specialist, so it's not good. Ooh, decides to play Depth to the Kami. Alright, I guess Virus Beetle goes. And then I guess I can play Long Reach of Night to make him sacrifice. And then hopefully we're fine. Or make him discard, we'll take 5, and then this should be okay. And then next turn he needs to sandbag a card in his hand, or otherwise he needs to sack the 5/5, so I guess we're fine, but we should be kind of careful here. We need to maybe chump, or maybe play Kotos and sub a double block, because this is a bit of a problem, so we'll see. We're managing to outgrind the opponent at the very least, so we'll take 5. And then he's probably just forced to discard his card. And hopefully he doesn't top deck either a removal spell or bounce spell, because I do want to set up a double block if I get a land. If I don't get a land, that could be a problem. I guess he's going to sacrifice the Octopus. So we can play land and play out Kotos, and then what do you want to get from the opponent's graveyard? We can get back Depth to the Kami, maybe. Can get a Moon Snare Specialist. Against the Mind Link mech doesn't do much. This doesn't have any lifelink. So it's either between Moon Snare Specialist and I guess Depth to the Kami. Might just be the Specialist since it provides me an extra body. But we'll definitely run this out. And I guess we can, yeah, I guess this needs to survive, right? Because it's as long as you control it. So interesting here. I could actually just get back the, yeah, I could actually just grab its Moon Snare Specialist, and then, funny enough, or Depth to the Kami, it isn't bad either. I could chump and then make him sacrifice a creature, but then if he has another creature, that's a problem. So I think we actually grab the Moon Snare Specialist here. And then I get to search his whole entire library. Ooh, alright, has a lot of removal, so it's not easy. Not a lot of instant speed removal, luckily enough. So we can still go for a double block and still be okay with it, so, yep. We'll say go, and then maybe we go for a double block and we should be okay. Or I can chump and then play Moon Snare Specialist. I think double blocking is correct here. He could maybe blow me out still, but that's fine. At least he doesn't have creatures to put the, okay, that's annoying, so Suit Up probably has to go here. As much as I like it. And I guess what I can do is I can attack, and then before blocks, play the Kuchi Shadow Walker. And then get some value, and then gain more life with the Okiba Reckoner raid, so not bad. And then we can still block the 1/1 Sigo. Hopefully he doesn't top deck removal spell and removal spell. And yeah, this is what I was kind of afraid of. He's going to get the Twisted Embrace, and he gets to kill something here. I mean, we still are going to gain a life, so it's still going to be a 3-turn clock. Unless the opponent has something. I still think I attack and then risk it here, and hope he doesn't top deck top deck into another Twisted Embrace and kill me for lethal. So he needs to get very lucky here, but I think we have to go for it. Yep. And then this way we can force him to chump. And then put him behind. Like, he could have easily played another Twisted Embrace off the top. But yeah. Now that he's out of creatures, he won't be able to use the second Twisted Embrace. Unless he plays a cheap creature along with it. Alright, another Virus Beetle is okay. Hopefully no second Twisted Embrace. I guess he needs to still force a chump here because it's 4 mana, so. So yeah. Managed to outvalue the opponent and survive long enough, and that was good. Behold the Unspeakable, that's annoying. But I guess I can still attack for 3, so good games. Alright, yeah, really sweet game. Opponent's deck also just looked really scary. A nice rare vehicle, Behold the Unspeakable, Twisted Embrace, multiple Virus Beetles. Definitely what you should be doing in the set when you're drafting black. Moonsnare Specialist, Moonsnare Hacker. So you also had kind of like the synergistic Ninjas deck with some late sagas for value, but yeah, we managed to get there. So alright, 6-1. Let's face the final boss. And then yeah, we started from rank 300 to 50 something, and now we're back up to 59. So just need to keep up the win rate, and we should be fine. It's funny, I haven't had these good win rates in a while. Like, I mostly end up 7-2 in other sets, but yeah, the last recent video I went 7-1. I did go 4-3 with a red-black deck, I guess, but there's a chance this could get 7-1 again, and you know. But people are beginning to figure out the format, I think. at this stage, but we'll see in the near future days if people still want to mess around. Okay, don't hate this. I'm not sure if I want to run out Network Disruptor on turn 1. I guess it's not bad if I want to play the long Brute Suits, and then there's a chance we can always pick up a Ninja to bounce this back. I'll try it. And then just the early pressure could be important, so yeah, I'll run out the Network Disruptor. It's better if we have more pressure on the battlefield, but, you know, the 1 damage early on I think kind of matters if you're being aggressive. So we can run out Life of Umezawa or Inkrise Infiltrator. Maybe that's just better. Just get another Ninja Flyer out. And then in case he gets more 1 toughness, in case he has 1 toughness, we can then punish him with life. The other play was to just play out life. Okay, I guess we want to answer this next turn. Play a little bit off curve, but we just don't want him accelerating his mana as a green opponent, so we'll see here. There's also the Hexproof trick that gains him 2 life, but if he wants to use it this early, that's totally fine. So we'll play a little bit off curve. I think it's worth it just to not only get the Saga out, but to take out the Mana Dork. So make sure I click the right one. Poet might float some mana before. I guess he gets to ramp up still, so. But we get to get rid of Mana Dork so he doesn't accelerate any more expensive stuff quickly. But yeah, the green decks can be very scary in this format, keep that in mind. So maybe we can kill him quickly. Ooh, Springleaf Avenger. Alright, that's a scary card. So I probably need to use the Dekuchi Silencer this turn. So yeah, I think we need to get in some ninjutsu. So what we want to do is target the Inkrise Infiltrator, move the combat, attack, and then before what's this? Yeah, before blocks, we want to. I guess we're fine replaying the Network Disruptor, right? Since I highly doubt green has many flyers. I guess they have reach creatures, but this is okay. And then, do I want to get rid of Network Disruptor or the Virus Beetle here? Maybe Kami can go, because it's just so expensive and it's going to take us a while to get there. Yeah, this can go. Kill the Springleaf Avenger. And then, do I want to run this out? I guess it's okay. But if he has a reach creature, that's annoying, so I think I hold on to it. Not in a hurry, and we also have Suit Up to attack past the big blocker. I guess he has a way to get back as an enchantment and a creature. Okay, no. I guess it's end of turn. He's going to use that ability. Okay, so that's fine. We can attack, and then I guess we can run out Brute Suit. Could see a removal spell here. Yeah, he has the Season of Renewal here. So, alright. Buys back both of these. So he has some top end to play next turn. And then let's see what he has here. Careful Cultivation, I guess, to block. So the question is, do I want to Suit Up here? I guess I don't hate Suit Up since I might need to hit my land drop. And then there's a chance the opponent might stay back because if I manage to connect and deal combat damage. I can do stuff, but we'll see. I'm hoping he taps out here for a 6-drop. So then I can maybe double Virus Beetle, or hey, just Weaver of Harmony. And maybe a removal spell, not sure. Geothermal Kami, buying some life. I guess he's just going to use this to gain some life. Or doesn't. Okay, so now we can make him discard both cards, which is nice. So yeah, let's just get rid of his top end creatures here. So Virus Beetle doing some work. So now no more Springleaf Avenger, and this card is definitely very scary. Since if he's able to get in one hit, he can just bring back his permit. So yeah, we're able to beat up the green deck. Kaito's Pursuit is interesting too. Can make him discard his final card. I guess I can also just play Network Disruptor and attack for 5. Or just, yeah, I guess I can do that and then set up Brute Suits. And then keep the 1/1s back, attack for 5. And then we also have a 4/3 that can maybe stay on defense. Yeah, this is other enchantment creatures get +1/+1, and then if he has an enchantment, he can trigger the ability. So this could represent a top deck spell. All right, safekeeping, that's fine. Gets a gain a bit of life, but it's no big deal. It would be worse against other stuff. Yeah. opponent's out of stuff here, and then we can just keep pressuring. So yeah, nice. Final boss had to be a green deck, and we got there. So yeah, the Ninjas deck can be pretty good. And then there's some standout commons that I want to talk about before we move on to the next draft. And I guess there's two standout commons for sure. Suit Up, one copy of the Suit Up was definitely pretty impressive, just as a really nice way to make a creature quite large, maybe get an ambush or a nice attack in. And the fact that it draws a card again was quite nice, since it could easily replace itself. So let's add this deck again in case I forget. And then there's also, again, the Kamiya Restless Shadow. This is not a card I necessarily like in most black decks. Especially the black-green grindy deck. The Kamiya Restless Shadows just doesn't do anything. But in a straight-up pure Ninjas deck, it's pure value. Just incredibly powerful. And then what it does is again, if the opponent doesn't have a way to block this, you can eventually just, once you get back the Ninja you have in your graveyard, assuming it has Ninjutsu, you can just Ninjutsu bounces back in your hand, get value off of the Ninjutsu trigger from your Ninja, and then recast this Kami for more value eventually. So eventually you can go, I mean, if assuming everything goes right, you can do an infinite loop over and over. So you can so this is a way for the Ninjas deck to kind of stay ahead in value against the other decks like in green that are just looking to go big, draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of big stuff, slow you down, etc. So yeah, so there's a bit of grindiness in the Ninjas deck, but it's definitely more aggressive for sure. And it's a really fun deck. The one copy of Kaito's Pursuit definitely came in handy in one matchup, making the opponent discard two. I mean, two matchups actually, since the opponent actually drew a card off of their Moon Circuit Hacker. The one Suit Up is nice. Brute Suit also don't mind with Okiba Reckoner Raid. Didn't see this too much in action, but I think it's okay with Reckoner Raid. If you don't have Reckoner Raid, I don't really like this, since it can easily get chumped and blocked, and it's just a waste of time sometimes. The one Dakuchi Shadow Walker can be a nice finisher. The double Long Reach of Night for more grindy late game-ness. And then, yeah, the creature becomes a threat later, and then the double Virus Beetle in the last game definitely did a lot of work, making the opponent discard two. Infiltrator was also a fine one of as well. Obviously, not an impressive creature to Ninjutsu out, but it is an enabler, and at the very least, it can still function as a decent late game mana sink if you can keep attacking for 3 mana, for example. I mean, keep attacking by paying the cost and getting in 3 damage per turn is no joke. Also becomes pretty difficult to attack into and block later on if you have a bunch of mana available, so a nice one of. And then Planar Incision, didn't see too much of this, but it did an okay job in one game where I was able to exile, I think, a Moonsnare Technician and bounce it back. So this is also a card that's kind of questionable, and it doesn't replace itself, so I could actually see myself playing maybe a second Suit Up, or a second You're Already Dead. This card also didn't come in handy. It's pretty good with Virus Beetles, but our deck, like, we don't necessarily want to get our ninjas in harm's way, unfortunately. I feel like this card is actually better in a black-red artifacts deck, where you have multiple one-drops that you don't mind chumping with, and then using You're Already Dead to finish them off, or then blocking and then using the Oni Coat Anvil to sack in response. So, kind of not impressed with this card, actually, in the Ninjas deck, but again, it's okay, and maybe sometimes okay is enough to justify having it, or maybe it's just so bad I might never consider playing this. But the fact that it replaces itself is still okay, and it did come up in one game where we, in our first match against the green-white deck, where we did chump in and use this to draw a card, and it was fine. And then Clawing Torment, not sure what I think about this. It's also just kind of medium. There's a lot of 1 toughness going on in this set, so that's a reason why Life is quite powerful, since it gets 2 triggers. So there's an argument for maybe main decking a Clawing Torment in this set, just to get one of those early 1 toughness creatures out of the way. But it's also just not very impressive, since Careful Cultivation, they can always cycle in their end step, and they get to untap and use the mana. So, yeah, it's okay. It's kind of whatever, but I could see cutting, like, not playing Clawing Torment or You're Already Dead, and then playing maybe another Suit Up, maybe? Not sure. I don't know. I mean, the comment tricks are also just kind of, it's kind of like you don't want multiple copies of them, because otherwise, if you don't have any creatures to Suit Up, it can get kind of awkward. But yeah, it's a pretty reasonable deck. Managed to get to 7 wins with it, and the mana base also wasn't an issue in this game. We obviously didn't have a lot of blue, but when we needed the blue, we at least had like 1 blue source, and it was all right. But yeah, pretty cool deck. Let's move on to our next draft. Claim our prize, and then yeah, let's do a mock draft before we go into the second draft. But that was definitely a fun deck to explore. So looking forward to drafting that on my Friday Night Magic drafts, or maybe just end up drafting green, who knows. So pack one, pick one. Let's pretend we're drafting Neon Dynasty. Ogre Head Helm, 2-mana 2/2. Okay, reasonable stat line, so it's an early creature you can play. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Okay, so not bad. And then whenever it's or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, if you do discard your hand, then draw three cards. Okay, so I guess you have to sacrifice it, right? Whenever Ogre Head Helm or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it if you do discard your hand and draw 3 cards. It doesn't seem great. It's an okay artifact. It's not that expensive to equip, since 3 generic is fine, and it's not like 4 or 5 like most of the other reconfigured cards, like for example the Leech Gauntlet. But the fact that you have to kind of sacrifice your creature or sacrifice it whenever it deals combat damage just to draw 3 cards, assuming you're empty-handed, it's kind of awkward. So I can see this being a good card in like a dedicated low curve artifacts deck, but there's also just Experimental Synthesizer in the sets at common, which allows you to exile the top card of your library and cast it. So you kind of have card advantage in a sense anyways. So I'm not sure about this card. It's kind of funny because equipment seem to be better than artifacts by a wide margin at this stage in the set, I think. Like all these sagas, almost all the sagas seem very good, like 90% of them, mostly in the Sultai colors, and then the rest of the artifacts in blue and red are kind of either hit or miss. Yeah, it's like some of the artifacts are just okay, but they're not like very impressive by any means. So I don't know. I'm kind of down. I'm on red at this point in this set. Not saying I won't draft it. It's very open, and I get past the nuts red-black deck with Oni Cold Anvil, Dockside Chef, and maybe the Smelter, then I might move into it, but I don't think I would maybe first pick the Ogre Head Helm. It looks more fancy than it is actually good. But I can see this being definitely reasonable in blue-red and black-red for sure. Go Shintai is a way to punish 1 toughness, fine card, but I also don't like to speculate on shrines too early. I mean, I'll speculate on maybe a shrine early, but I don't want to make it a high priority. I'll still take the best commons over it, because the shrines still take a bit of setup to get going. They're not necessarily the most impressive when they come down and do their thing. Like the White Shrine, I guess makes a 1/1, but it's still quite pricey to pay for, spend for 4 mana and then pay 1 generic to get it going. And then if one of your shrines get killed, then it's kind of like your whole plan just falls apart in a sense. And then just needing that one extra generic every turn just to pay to use the effect is a little bit of a hindrance at times. So kind of down the shrines, but I still think might be the correct pick over Ogre Head Helm. Probably not. I don't know. This is a 2-drop. This is a 4-drop. Yeah, maybe I'd still take Helm over the shrine. And then there's Kami's Flare at common, probably the best red common in this set. But yeah, I would take Kami's Flare maybe over these two. This Cudgels isn't really where you want to be, just really bad and slow, and it doesn't give your creature trample or menace or anything. And there's Eiganjo Exemplar as a fine 2-drop. Definitely fallen a bit down given how red-white doesn't seem like a good deck in this format. It can come together, and I definitely will draft it if it does, but it's just that red is just trying to do low to the ground artifact stuff. It's trying to be aggressive, and white's trying to be controlling. So they're kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum, but it's still maybe reasonable if you get past all the insane samurai warrior cards. Definitely take Generous Visitor versus March of Wretched Sorrow. Really interesting decision. It could just be color preference, but I think maybe Wretched Sorrow just busted enough. The life drain is really powerful, and could be worth putting counters, I guess. But Generous Visitor is also just a really excellent uncommon. Funny enough, it's not the best green uncommon. I think the best green one is like the Kopatech Wrecker and the Blossom Prancer, but definitely up there with them. This has more long-term value, assuming you can get this early and cast a bunch of enchantments. a little bit worse later. And green has enough enchantments in this format, you don't need to worry. And then this can just gain you a ton of life, kill a creature, and they're both excellent colors, I think. People say green is the best one because green has just more solid commons and generals compared to the rest of the other colors. But then the commons I find are good, but they're definitely not like at the same power level of like specialists, for example, or even Okiba Reckoner Raid. So I don't know. It's between these two. I still think maybe March here. And then at common, yeah, Tales of Master Shizero is excellent. Puts 2 counters, and then you get a 5/5 Vigilance Haste on turn 5, so it makes up for the suspend, so quote unquote, the first and second chapter. So you're almost essentially getting 7 power, 7 toughness in terms of stats. And then Time of Safekeeping is also playable. The blue Shrine, don't ever try it. The mill thing doesn't work in this format. It might even benefit your green opponents because they can play Season over Renewal to get things back from the graveyard. Yeah, Springleaf Adventure is a bomb. This card's so scary. Yeah, luckily the last opponent we were able to deal with it twice. Once in the battlefield and then seconds in their opening in their hand with double Virus Beetle. But yeah, this card is scary. If it connects once, not only do you take a ton of damage, but they also just get a card from their graveyard to their hand. So pretty disgusting. Definitely first pick. Second pick here could just be Circuit Mender, I think, or Modern Age. Both of these are kind of close. Network Disruptor I also think is a top blue common, but I don't like it in every blue deck. I don't like it in blue-green. It doesn't fit well in a controlling deck, but definitely like in blue-black or maybe blue-red and more aggressive decks, it's better. So I think it's a card you want to pick up once you have the whole ninja synergy going, but maybe not too early. And then, yeah, I would maybe just take Circuit Mender, stay open, provides an artifact for a bit of synergy, gains life. It's a creature to, if you manage to somehow ninjutsu this back in your hand, you can recast it to get the enter the battlefield effect and also the draw effect again from leaving the battlefield. And then it's just, just a good blocker. So maybe take Circuit Mender. Fade into Antiquity, also find common, and then Modern Age. Probably the best common out of this, since it's just good in any blue deck. In blue-green, it's nice for a bit of card advantage in the late game or smoothing, and then just good in the early game in blue aggressive deck, eventually getting you a 2/3 flyer. So yeah, we have the Ogre Helm, we have Banishing Slash and Seismic Wave. It's kind of interesting here. Do I hate red that much? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is rough. Like, these are all just okay cards, like decent uncommons and okay rare. And not sure here. Maybe still take Seismic Wave to stay open, and it's just a good removal spell. 3 mana and instant speed, and then deal 1 damage to each non-artifact creature can definitely come in handy. The non-artifact part is a little bit of a miss because it doesn't deal like network disruptors or beetles, but it's still fine. And then Banishing Slash, a little bit hard to cast, but solid removal spell, being double white. And then if you somehow control an artifact or enchantment, assuming you do, you make a 2/2 samurai creature token with vigilance, which definitely matters. But it's a little bit rough to determine which I would take here. Maybe Seismic Wave, since it's just easy to cast and it just kills something. This might have slightly more upside, but it is much more of a situational effect. And then this being at instant speed, probably better. I don't know. The Ogre Helm also just looks very medium too. Like every time I've seen my opponent play this, they don't discard their hand immediately, obviously, because they have a lot of cards in their hand. It's a nice upside, but having the sacrifice is just not really where you want to be. And then the commons are just whatever. Like the white sagas and the red sagas, I think at common are kind of lackluster, but should be fine if you're playing a more aggressive game plan with befriending the moths. But white again tends to be more defensive, so none of those commons really stand out to me. Jingataxius is kind of interesting. 7 mana is a lot, but if you play this in a more controlling blue deck, like in, I guess, blue-green, this can be nice. Either way, I mean, yeah, this is definitely a really powerful card, but can be pricey. It doesn't copy any enchantments, so that can be a bit of a problem. But if you're able to like copy an instant sorcery and artifact, it can be really backbreaking. And then it just counters any artifact, instant, or sorcery the opponent plays the first time. So yeah, this is a nice top end like finisher for like a blue control deck. I can see definitely first picking this because it just has so much potential. And then at common, I think Virus Beetle over Twisted Embrace is correct in the set. Again, removal, not as good in this set because of all the 2-for-1s going on in the Sagas, and Virus Beetle also getting a nice effect in. But this is still a strong card, especially if you're able to bounce the enchantment back into your hand with Geothermal Kami. It does require setup, but it's definitely a powerful synergistic effect. And then also it's an enchantment and aura for a specific synergy, so I don't know. Still take Jin Gataxius here. Pack one, pick one. Yeah, I would take the land over Lethal Exploit. Exploit is okay. The rest of this pack is also just medium. I find that the green doesn't care about having mana dorks too often in this set, since most of the mana dorks aren't very good blockers in the early game, and green just has enough defensive tools and power in the mid game that you don't really need to necessarily ramp. But it's fine, nothing special. And then Walking Skyscraper hasn't been very impressive. Yeah, it doesn't have hexproof forever, so eventually it will be tapped and it will be disrupted. If you can find a way to untap this, I mean, that would be amazing, but I don't think I've come across that yet in this format. Not sure. Maybe there's a couple of combat tricks that do, like the green one. But yeah, still a card that's quite expensive, and modified isn't really that much of a thing you want to build around this set. So take the land, nice value. What it does, it just brings back a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand, and it's also just a land you can play. So I just take the land here. Right, let's move on to the next draft. We spent enough time already talking, so let's get to it. Alright, then pack one, pick one, Premier Draft Neon Dynasty. What do we have to find pleasure of opening? A pretty unplayable rare, a find uncommon, a good uncommon for the artifacts deck, and then at common, nothing exciting. There's like a Fang of Shigeki, which is fine. Terrarium if we want to splash. If we were already in the artifacts deck, there's Simian Sling that we could take here as a fine creature. That's cheap to get back, so I think it's just really between these two, Banishing Slash and Heiko Yamazaki. I did say removal wasn't amazing in this format, so it might just be down to take Heiko Yamazaki, maybe draft a red-based artifacts deck, and then if we're able to just draft some removal, clear a path for Heiko to get back our like 1-mana Simian Slings or experimental synthesizers, it could be fine. So I don't hate taking this. Slash is also fine too. There's an argument taking a cheaper card, but it's double white to cast. Yeah, we'll take Heiko, but I can see abandoning this choice. But I can see Heiko just being a powerful and value engine, and in this set, I think it's about value engines and not one-for-one removal. It's not like a core set or Crimson Vow where you need a ton of removal to just get through. And this pack is also just kind of weak. Maybe just take Kami's Flare. None of the uncommons really stand out here. Sometimes you draw a card off of this, and that's great. Sometimes you don't. Yeah. We might just be drafting red this time. Take a Kami's Flare. Simian Sling is still in this pack, so could even potentially wheel it. Ooh, alright. Kumano faces Kakazan is definitely one of the more impressive one-drop sagas in red at uncommon. And red has a lot of good one-drop uncommons, so we can take this. And then keep in mind once the creature comes back, if anything dies from a creature that we controlled, it ends up getting exiled, so it's not only for that turn, but for whenever Etchings of Kumano is on the battlefield. It's great. A decent ninja card, a decent artifact card, a Scrapper Steelsbreaker we could wheel, some decent green cards, Commune with Spirits, and Fade into Antiquity. But after taking a red card into a red removal, we'll take a red Saga, makes sense. And then we'll see what type of red deck we want to draft. Mostly red artifacts, I think, are the better red decks. So we'll see. Blue-red and black-red are kind of where you want to be. I don't think I'm going to go 3 colors. It's just a little bit too messy. Alright, ooh, Circuit Mender is nice. It just goes in any deck, and it's also an artifact for synergies. I love seeing this here. This card's excellent. What else is there? Lethal Exploit is fine. Preserver in green, Master's Rebuke. So seeing some green cards here, And then some okay red commons too. Wouldn't mind Shower State's Era if I'm more aggressive, Unstoppable Ogre. But yeah, Circuit Mender is nice. Also an artifact again we can get, but ooh, maybe blue red's open. We're seeing the best blue common, Moonsnare Specialist still in this pack. Also Modern Age I wouldn't mind. And then if we're aggressive, Gift of Wrath could also be okay since it makes us a 2/2 body when it leaves the battlefield. And then Master's Rebuke, probably the third best card in this pack. But Moonsnare Specialist is a gift, and hopefully we draft blue red, which is going to be pretty exciting with the whole artifact synergy, and then it's also being aggressive, so that's where you want to be with in red. As we see some late white cards, and also keep a Reckoner Raid too. I think I got to take the Reckoner Raid here. A second pick would, if I'm going to be base red, I think it's correct taking Arrest over Imperial Oath. Although, like, if you give me a pack one, pick one between both of these, I would take Imperial Oath, since it's just more value, and this set is more about grinding the opponent instead of killing them quickly. But we'll take a Reckoner Raid. There's a chance we end up black-red, and this is still the best common in the set. So we'll speculate on black-red, maybe blue-red, or maybe just Abandon Red, maybe, I don't know. That's going to be a bit of a stretch. Ooh, Enthusiastic Mechnauts, why not? I don't hate this. The more flexible option would be Runaway Trash Pilot, but I find that card just to be okay. You don't always have enchantments or artifacts in the graveyard, and then it just sits there. If you get this into at least 4 power, it's quite nice, but around like 2 or 1 to 3, it's just very medium. Fine blocker, but I think this is just a better card. There's also Undercity Scrounger as a nice value engine for the black-red artifacts deck. But I think the Enthusiastic Mechanaut now, if we take it, is just much more powerful. And then Mobilizer Mech is okay, but not an exciting vehicle. So we'll see if we end up in blue-red. Ooh, Simian Sling pretty late. Okay, just gotta keep taking those one-drop artifacts that are very important. Hopefully we can pick up an Experimental Synthesizer, play a very low to the crown artifact deck. There's also the Umai Sphere, which I don't hate. I've been seeing people main deck this as a counterspell. Don't think it's wrong, but it's actually bad against ninjutsu because it doesn't counter the creature. It only counters the ability, so they can eventually just ninjutsu it again. So just a very medium card and almost impossible to cast unless you're playing a blue control deck. And even in the blue control deck, i.e. blue-green, it's not a card you necessarily want. You'd rather just take Spinning Wheel Kick, which is somehow still in this pack for some reason. Not enough respect for green, I suppose. I don't hate the dual land here. The Puzzle Maker is also really fine playable. Terrarium is also fine. Prototype, probably the worst out of all the rest I just mentioned. But if we're going to be in blue-red, I think we definitely value the mana base. And then hopefully we get a Puzzle Maker later to help fill our curve. So we'll take the dual land. Ooh, we got Puzzle Maker anyway, sweet. There's also Brute Suit. I like Brute Suit if we were in black-red with multiple Keep a Reckoner raids. But without it, I feel like it's just fine just taking the colored card here. It's a nice 3-drop for the Artifacts deck. Not necessarily an aggressive card, but it's a flyer which can come in handy. And also helps us scry to help us improve our late game draw steps. So I'll take it here. Ooh, Scrapyard Steelsbreaker is nice. I'm not splashing black. I know this is a decent card, but I could use a decent 4-drop. There's also Papergraph Decoy, but that card's okay. Has some ninjutsu synergies and black-red. If you end up sacrificing, you can pay the 2 generic to draw, but it's still quite pricey for what it does. So don't mind a good 4-drop here with Scrapyard Steelbreaker. And then we might play Ogre if we're more aggressive. Maybe we don't play the Moonfolk Puzzle Maker, who knows. Maybe go for a more aggressive bent. And then don't know if we're going to be doing the Shrine thing, but Shrine Steward is okay. Bearer Memory is also an okay card in green, but keep in mind it only puts a 1/1 counter on enchantment creatures. So Protocol is also interesting. Like 2 blue to tap an artifact encounter could be fine, but double blue could be difficult to cast. I don't know. I'm still gonna consider it, but for now, it looks like we have a staff for a nice blue-red aggressive deck. Pack 1, pick 1, Invoke the Ancients is really powerful. Unfortunately, we're probably just going to take another Moonsnare Specialist here. There's also Prosperous Thief, which makes treasures, but I don't think we're looking to ramp in this deck, and we're just looking for a lot of interaction to keep the opponent off balance so we can chip in for some damage and eventually finish them off. Yeah, I don't care about treasures here. It's a decent uncommon, but the Moonsnare Specialist is better by a miles. even though not an artifact. And I know the reason why they didn't make it into artifact is because it's just powerful enough. It's still really just the best common in the set. But pack one, pick one. I wouldn't mind taking Invoke. This card is kind of busted. Unfortunately, doesn't have haste though. But green is a great color. I don't know. I'll take Moonsnare Specialist. I could actually see taking Moonsnare Specialist over Invoke. Actually, I don't know. Just keep my options open. Okay, could just take another Heiko, but we're not going to pass up the best red uncommon, which is Twin Shot Sniper. Not only does it serve as a removal spell, but also a solid body, and it's great to ninjutsu back with Moonsnare Specialist if you can. Second pick will probably just be Kami's Flare. I already have a Heiko, and then having cheaper interaction is nice, but we're not going to pass up Twin Shot. There's also Moon Circuit Hacker, not in the artifact, funny enough. Should have actually been an artifact, I think. But also solid playable, but not amazing in blue-red. I'd still play it though if it was the best card in the pack. Reality Heist is not great. I know it finds artifacts, but it's only. I mean, I know it kind of helps you draw 2 cards, but they're only artifact cards, which isn't not necessarily where you want to be. Like if you fall behind in the late game, you don't necessarily want artifacts. You definitely might need some removal spells, but Twin Shot Sniper is better by a lot. And then this pack is just kind of iffy. You could take a Searchlight Companion. I don't actually hate this, especially with the Moonsnare Specialist, and it's also a cheap artifact we could play. Pneumonic Sphere, it's kind of also pricey. Shard States Era, one of the more weaker sagas. Find an aggressive deck, but I don't think I care. And then this guy is also just whatever. Let's just take Searchlight Companion. Make some artifact bodies, and then Seismic Wave is nice. Ooh, also, but there's also Experimental Synthesizer. And I guess the Network Disruptor here. Oh man, why does it have to be like this? I think it's still Seismic Wave. Just gotta take up the removal. Since we should have our creatures covered in this deck, I think. That we shouldn't worry too much. Synthesizer is nice card advantage though, but I think it's still Seismic Wave. The removal is just very important, and this is at a good rate. So, we'll take it. Alright. Can take a Terrarium. There's Reality Heist I guess I could take. The Random Gift of Wrath. Kami of Industry could be interesting too. If we're looking to maybe sacrifice. I guess this is a nice way to bring back the Ogre at 6 mana, but it's probably still not the pick here. Heist is just whatever. I mean, Terrarium can maybe help us hit our land drops, potentially, and it's cheap to play. We already have an unstoppable Ogre, so I don't know if I need to prioritize the second one. Best card is by far Michiko's Reign of Truth, but we're definitely not going to take it here. Yeah, let's just take a Ecologist Terrarium. I don't think I care about much here. I don't want to play too much expensive stuff. And our Searchlight Companion is going to take me Construct. I mean, if I pick up one of those network terminals and I can get the whole discard thing going on, this can be pretty decent. And maybe some Modern Ages, I don't mind. I guess there's also a Colossal Sky Turtle. The channel ability can come up as a way to bounce, but we can't really bring it back or anything. And we already have double Moonsnare Specialists. Alright, I'll take the Containment Construct. Could use an extra 2-drop artifact. And then, nothing else here. There's our Prototype. I guess there's Roadside Reliquary, which I don't mind. We can always. I guess there's also Iron Apprentice. I think this is better in a sacrifice deck, right? So you can sacrifice it and put counters. It's okay. Doesn't seem like necessarily what we want to do. Yeah, I don't mind a Roadside Reliquary. It is a colorless land, but we're only going to go 2 colors, and then we can at least sacrifice this to draw a card at the very least, and then Koi is decent. Gives me a fine 4-drop to help end the game, hopefully. So, don't hate this. Also can help us loot if we have an artifact ETBs. So, decent synergy. So, it's nice with the Containment Construct, I have to imagine. So, don't hate the Containment. 1 copy could be nice in these artifact decks. And then the 3-drops are still kind of questionable. I think these 3 are questionable. But then the rest, I think these are going to make it. Protocol is also interesting, but double blue is not. It's kind of difficult to keep up. Ooh, Simian Slaying. Alright, just keep taking those 1-drop artifacts. And we might just have a full deck, I don't know, by the end of this. The 4s look solid already. I guess we have a bit of a sacrifice synergy with the Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Here, I don't even know if it's Reality Heist, honestly. It doesn't look good. I mean, I can try it. It's probably just not too different from a Mnemonic Sphere, to be honest. Brute Suit is also okay and interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it matters here. We'll just let the bot decide, I guess. Butsu is also, yeah, it's easy to crew. It's also a solid creature to have, but again, I like it with the Okiba Rekner raids. Just take the uncommon. I'll take the Aki Warpaint, maybe call off some red. Fade still in the pack. It's a really good card. Wanderer's Intervention is okay too, but I'm surprised to see Fade. I could see Economy of Industry. I guess it's a 5-drop. I thought this was a 6-drop. Okay, being a 5-drop, I think is fine with the Unstoppable Ogier. So we'll see if it happens. Ryu, not for our deck. Pretty cool card though, the first pick, but I don't think it's for us. There's another Containment Construct. Could just take Tawashi Song Shaper actually. Find 2-drop for the deck. And then, yeah, if we're able to play a bunch of artifacts that can just get pumped. So, seems okay. Another Containment Construct, but we have one already. Searchlight Companion. Yeah, these are all just really medium cards, and I don't think we're splashing for this. We're not really a dedicated samurai deck, and we only have like one samurai or warrior. Take a Song Shaper here. Okay, I guess I gotta take Voltage Surge. I did say this was the best red common, but I really think we need removal in this deck. We are pretty aggressive, and we can't really afford to fall behind. So I'll take Voltage Surge here, and there's also Network Disruptor as a fine 1-drop too, but gonna just take the red removal spell, I think, and we should be okay. Also, Farewell is a bomb. Seeing some insane white cards here, but gonna take the Voltage Surge. Ooh, Replication Specialist is nice. Another top-end creature and perfect. If we're going to be doing artifacts, we can just replicate them all day, and that can help us win the game. Don't hate it. Alternatively, Network Disruptor, our first copy, would also be nice, but Specialist is just really powerful. Ooh, alright. Another 1-drop. 2-mana Faces Kakazan is also great. Gonna take it here. So we should have a mix of enchantments and artifacts to maybe help leverage this Roadside Reliquary. Some like 2 artifact enchantment creatures with the Kakazan. And even then, sacrificing this to draw a card later on isn't the worst. To just draw 1. So it's looking good, and I don't hate Thirst for Discovery in this deck. We do have a decent amount of artifacts we can discard maybe. And we could use some card advantage, so seems fine. I can see maybe ditching a Construct if we don't have a ton of stuff to discard. Terrarium is also interesting too. Might be cuttable too. Ooh, another Moonsnare Specialist. Not going to pass up the best common. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put these in the sideboard for now. Might not need them. Or Economy of Industry can maybe go too. Ooh, Experimental Synthesizer, get in here. Definitely going to take it here. And then by taking this Synthesizer, I don't want too much expensive stuff. So maybe the Industry can go. I guess this can bring back the Experimental Synthesizer, funny enough, but just for safety reasons, I think we just put it in the sideboard for now. And then I think we should have enough 4s. This can be interesting if we want to have stuff to sack, like the Circuit Mender, but we don't have much artifacts that we care about sacking. So I could just take an Iron Apprentice for the hell of it. Not sure what this does. Doesn't seem that great, honestly. It's like these two want to be in the same deck, but we don't. But we have to choose one, so I'll take that. And we're not playing our Incision in this deck, I don't think. Another Containment Constructs, another Terrarium. I mean, we have all of these already. Don't think it matters here, just take another Terrarium. Maybe we need a 2-drop that helps us find our lands. It isn't bad, and then since we can sacrifice it later to put a 1/1 counter isn't the worst. Okay, we'll take a Network Disruptor. I think I gotta take my Network Disruptor over the second Synthesizer because we have triple ninjas here, and we could use a 1-drop that has a bit of evasion and can tap something down. Yeah, I think I'm down to diversify. I love seeing it late, and then I'm not going to ramp artifacts, but then I might as well take this for the hell of it, just diversify. Don't think this matters. Okay, so the deck seems pretty solid. Our colors were definitely open. Even seeing another late 2-drop in red. I think it could just be 17 lands. Not sure about 16 maybe, since our 1-drops, our curve can be pretty low. It could be 16 because of all these 1-drops here. But yeah, this deck looks really solid. If it's 16, I'm not sure if I want to play the Roadside Reliquary. I guess we can run 17 with the Roadside Reliquary then, if we're kind of afraid of missing out on some land drops in early turns. And then we might as well have a colorless land for the hell of it. And then let's see here. I'm liking all these cards here. This is more like a 3-drop, assuming you can ninjutsu it. And then the 4s look good, and then Replication Specialist. Yeah, this all looks really good. So what final card do you want to throw in? Don't think we're doing Shrine Sword. There's a Brute Suit, which is fine. Plays pretty well with the 1 toughness stuff that we can crew eventually, but still kind of slow. Doesn't have Menace. There's Terrarium to maybe help us hit our lands in the early game, which also isn't bad. Containment Construct. Decent with a Sky Swimmer Koi. And that's about it. Yeah, we don't have that much discarding going on. So it's just kind of whatever. I guess there's Automated Artificer as a way to help us ramp into an artifact spell. But I don't think it's necessary still. There's an Iron Apprentice. Decent if you can sacrifice it. And we only have the Scrapyard Steelbreaker to sack, so it's also just kind of whatever. There's the Kami of Industry. Can bring back, I guess, Circuit Mender could be nice, and Searchlight Companion, so it can also be a decent top-end creature we could have. And then bringing back to also, I guess, Experimental Synthesizer isn't the worst, so this could be okay. But I think it's better if we have Unstoppable Ogre along with it, but I think it's just worse than the rest of these other 3s. So not sure here. And there's always just Puzzle Maker, which is a fine blocker on turn 3. And yeah, it's just an okay card. I don't know, it's between Puzzle Maker, Ogre, Kami, and I guess the land, the Terrarium. Might actually just be the Terrarium to help us smooth out our draws. Not sure. Yeah, having at least a turn 2 play to get us our land drop is nice. And then if we don't have any, if we don't ninjutsu the Moonsnare Specialist, they're more like 4-drops anyways. So I think it's important to hit our land drop. So maybe I just throw in an Ecologist Terrarium here, just to improve our ability to hit our land drops better. And then 15 creatures seems fine. Yeah, this should be a pretty solid deck. And then this is also just a random artifact we can discard to Thirst for Knowledge in the late game if we want to. Since I'm kind of lacking those crappy artifacts, quote-unquote, to get rid of. I mean, obviously we don't want crappy cards in our deck, but, you know, we kind of want some, maybe like a 1 junk artifact or 2 to discard at least. And Terrarium is at least a solid one we can maybe get rid of. So I don't actually hate this. Curve out with our early curve. Play out some stuff. Burn the opponent out with Kumano. Play some flyers. Disrupt them with the Moonsnare Specialist. Get to late game. Yeah, play a big flyer. Play another big flyer. Maybe replicate some things. The Puzzle Maker is a fine blocker, but it doesn't seem aggressive enough for us. This is an aggressive card, but the 1 toughness is again a liability, and it's only 1 for 1 turn at. And again, I only like this with the Kami of Industry, being able to bring it back and make a creature unable to block. But I think it's just better, much more efficient this way. And then even if we flood, the Reliquary can actually come in handy since it can cycle itself at least. So seems fine. And then the mana base, slightly favoring red, so 8-9, 7-8 looks fine. Yep, looks about right. So let's try it out, see how it goes. And then, what's our poster child? Specialist? Nah, Specialist was in the last draft. Twin Shot Sniper, I guess, is our poster child. We'll give this a shot. This seems a lot better than the black-red deck we drafted in the first video. And it was just definitely open, so. The quote-unquote worst color is actually still really solid if you get a lot of 1-drops and the removal spell, so don't sleep on red. People are down on it because, again, artifacts are worse than enchantments, and red wants to do its own thing, and just doesn't mesh well with, again, white and green, but fine with black and blue, and it's just so all-in at times that if you don't kill them quickly, or, yeah, if you don't kill them quickly, regardless, the Sultai Saga decks are just going to outvalue you in the long run, but I think it's still comparable in power level if the right deck comes together, but I can see it definitely being kind of worse because it is just so narrow, and then the red removal spells that common aren't amazing, but still they're kind of necessary components. Like if you already have the win conditions, you might as well take the removal spells to improve them. So opening hand, okay, Kumano's nice, and then Reliquary we can stack later, seems quite good. Get our Saga down, and then we can even get a 2/2 Network Disruptor next following turn. since, yeah, this can put a counter. This is a good saga, but you definitely need to be aggressive, so. And then we might as well just run this out to make it into a 2-2, since a 2-2 flyer is pretty nice in the early game. Ooh, or an Enthusiastic Mechanaut, never mind. Yeah, let's get a 3-3 Mechanaut out there. Huh, already on turn 2. And then we can run out a 2-cost Searchlight Companion. Opponent decides to attack, funny enough, so it does imply he has a trick. Definitely not going to block it. Lion Stash is really powerful. There's no way for us to interact with it, unfortunately. So, if he manages to exile a bunch of stuff, that could be a problem. But it's fine. I think what we can do is we can play land, play the Searchlight Companion for 2, and I might hold on to his Network Disruptor for the Sky Swimmer Koi, since this doesn't do much except block the 1-1, but the opponent realizes I'm already too far ahead. So, alright. That was a really nice top deck for the Mechanaut. So yeah, our turns can be really explosive that the opponent just falls too far behind and we can just kill them quickly, and that's the game plan, so. Yep. Alright, we have a turn 3 Circuit Mender, but beyond the play, I really don't want to mulligan, so we'll keep maybe the most Voltage Surge can maybe deal with something early on, like an early Ninja. So yeah, it's really, even though again I talked about how removal is amazing, you still want removal, so there's an irony to all of this. Could play the Reliquary, but just gonna play out my colors and then use this later once we get an enchantment creature and an artifact down. Coilfang Stalker, I think I just kill it. Could play the Circuit Mender to maybe block it and hold on to this. Maybe that's more important, since I should be able to hold this off with the Searchlight Companion next turn, so we'll see go. Thirst for Knowledge is interesting, but I think I'll just run out the Searchlight over the Circuit, because if this gets answered, I want to at least have an extra body to block, and this is solid, so. Opponent could be holding up the Crab. Do I want to bounce anything here? Probably not. Let's move the combat, maybe attack for 1 in the air. And then, if he has a Crab, getting this counter will be quite bad, but getting the Circuit Mender countered would also be quite bad. And I don't think I want to ninjutsu this in my hand yet to bounce a 2-1, so we'll run this out and hope it resolves. Worst case scenario, it doesn't. Okay, just a Tanuki to ramp, but we get to bring out a flyer. And then, yeah, we can bounce any large creature with the Moon Snare Specialist, hopefully, eventually. So. And the Voltage Surge is also nice, since we can deal 4 damage, potentially. Mind Link Mech only has crew 1, so maybe we just deal with this. So, let's see here. First things first, I think we can attack with both, or just attack with the Koi. I think what can happen is he can crew, block, and then we can ninjutsu, assuming he doesn't block Searchlight Companion. I think I'm down to play out land, even though I thirst. I think I attack here, and then what can happen is that, I guess before blocks, we can sacrifice the 1-1 Spirit to take out the 4-3 and still develop the Circuit Mender. I think I like that. Because this card can just be so annoying, so let's wait until he crews and then see if he decides to block. Doesn't decide to block. So if he doesn't decide to block, I could also just ninjutsu this, bounce the Quilling Stalker here. Or maybe we're just fine just letting damage happen and then playing out the Circuit Mender. I guess what can happen is that he can turn this into a Coiling Stalker, attack and then put a counter onto a creature. But luckily we can hold up maybe Voltage Surge to prevent that from happening. We'll see. And then I don't think I'm looting here, so I should maybe hold on to my land. But yeah, we'll decline. Let's go. So next turn I need to hope I hold up my second land. So the question is, when Zekru, do I just fire off the Surge? I think I do. And I couldn't have done it on my turn because it was going to become a creature anyway, so he's going to turn into that, so in response I'm going to try to kill it. I can sacrifice the Circuit Mender to draw a card. I guess this is a Spirit Knot. Yeah, I could do that to draw a card, which isn't bad. It is a good blocker for the 2-1, but I think the Searchlight Companion with the Ninjutsu thing can come out. Actually, no, Ninjutsu the Circuit Mender is probably better. I don't know here. It could all be, you know, let's get rid of Circuit Mender. There's a chance he could have a big blocker because he's playing green and I'd rather Ninjutsu the Flyer. So let's hope this resolve. I can draw a card. And yep, that's good. So opponent doesn't get to hit me for 4. And we still have a 1-1 to hold this back. Jukai Preserver, so it's now a 3-2. So if it manages to, okay, he's going to make a 4-4 instead, funny enough. Alright. I guess we can attack. Do I want to use Moonsnare Specialist? Probably not. Maybe just run out the Scrapyard Steelbreaker, keep land in hand. Since he has black, he could also be playing the Beetle. I could Specialist here actually. Bounce this back and get another Search Part like Companion and then recast it. I guess that's not a bad idea as well. But I'm lacking a bit of removal, so I think it's fine just smashing in for 4. And then I guess we can even discard the land now that we're going to cast an artifact, so. And then we can still sacrifice the artifact. Yeah, let's get rid of land and we can even discard Terrarium to Thirst for Knowledge. So go. And then I can take 4 here. It's not the end of the world. Block the 2-1. Could see a fight spell maybe. Cultivation, sure. And that's not a bad target to bounce now. He does get to put a counter for value later. I guess I might want to just main phase the Moonsnare Specialist now since... I guess he's going to block my 3-3 at the very least. So, you know what? Let's move to combat, I think. I will have to stack 2 artifacts to get rid of this. I could main phase this, but I think I want to get a bit of value with the Searchlight Companion. And hope there's... Oh, he's deciding to block here. Very interesting. Alright, that's a pretty smart decision here. Okay, yeah, let's just do this. Hope it resolves. And then we can get a bit of value here by bouncing this back. And then, I guess, bouncing the Jukai Preserver. I don't get to deal damage, but again, I get to make more bodies with the 3-1. Yeah, let's just do this. And then, do we play out Terrarium? Kind of just liking holding on to Terrarium, although, if I play Terrarium, I also just get a land to eventually discard to Thirst. So I think it's fine running out the land here, playing Terrarium, getting another land, and we can always discard 2 lands to Thirst, and that's fine. And I'm not going to loot here. I guess I can. With the trigger on a stack, yeah, I can get kind of greedy here. Actually, we can find our land and discard it, so maybe we never cast Thirst for Knowledge, who knows. But I'm kind of just liking just getting rid of some lands in my deck. And then, yeah, I might as well draw a card, and then we can even discard a land again, so just getting all that value. Blossom Prancer has reach. Alright, this is like the mythic uncommon of the set. This card is disgusting. I guess we can at least attack with the Scrapyard Steelbreaker, which I don't mind. No artifact. I guess we can sacrifice the Terrarium. I can also put a counter onto the Koi and then attack with both. I lose the Koi. This is interesting here. Or I can put the counter onto the Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Maybe we main phase the Searchlight first. Because yeah, this gains a toughness if we sack it, so... Or play out Yamazaki. I don't know, let's just play this out. I guess I can do both. Do I want to draw a card? No, let's not do that. Yeah, let's attack with the Steelbreaker, I think. And then he might chump here, which is fine. So getting some good value. And do I just run out Yamazaki? I'm not afraid of any sweepers here. Let's just run out the Yamazaki. And then next turn we can just keep attacking this Scrapyard Steelbreaker. But yeah, this card is essentially apparently a mythic uncommon from the pros. They're saying you should take this almost most rare over most rares. Centipede, okay, so another unexciting card I don't care about. He could equip and then attack, which I'm fine with. The Scrapyard Steelbreaker can just keep attacking still because I can just sacrifice artifacts to eventually deal with the Blossom Prancer, but decides to get a 3/5 out instead, funny enough. Synthesizer isn't bad. So we can Synthesizer first. I would love to again eventually discard something to Thirst, but this is just too good. Don't want to draw a card and discard. I mean, that's not the worst if I had to discard Thirst. Let's do it. Ooh, alright. Yeah, maybe Thirst can go at this point. Good card, but I feel like we're better off just I guess I can put a counter here, trade at this point. And then I still have 2 artifacts I can sacrifice to Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Or I can just attack with this, and then I guess he has 2 reach creatures, so if I attack this Skystorm McCoy is pretty bad. So do I want to put a counter on the Scrapyard Steelbreaker? He gets to double block it. But or it's the same thing, I guess. Yeah, let's move to combat and just attack the Steelbreaker. And then if it dies, we can eventually just get it back with Heiko. Ooh, I guess I get back Circuit Mender. Huh. So we're seeing some synergies here, so he does need to block this. So 9 toughness. I think we kill this first. How many artifacts can we sack? 1, 2, 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. So I guess I can kill everything here if I sacrifice all my artifacts. So I think I might try that. Yeah, let's get rid of this. It's fine. Getting more land pockets, that's fine. So just getting a nice solid 2-for-1 here, and then we can stack the Searchlight Companion and then just kill everything. And then we will have a really nice turn next turn, since we can buy back the Scrapyard Steelbreaker if we attack with Yamazaki, assuming it goes through. And then, do I do this? No, I don't think we loot anymore. Decline, play out the Kumano faces Kakazan. And then we can even sacrifice our land to draw 2 cards, which is nice. So, yeah, the synergies are coming together. All the value. We can even also just attack. Yeah, I mean, I guess this Drew Card Preserver would have been a 4/4, but we would have still attacked in the air for 3 and then drew a card off of our lands. But let's assume the 4-drop could attack. We could just bring back the Scrapyard Steelbreaker and make it into a must-block creature. So it's funny, Thirst for Knowledge didn't seem to do anything that game, and it probably didn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it might not be necessary. Is it kind of crazy cutting Thirst in this deck? I think it could be. Like, Thirst doesn't seem great in this set in general, just... but I still think it makes sense. Like, we might need to get a card advantage and then discard Terrarium later, but, like, it's funny because I just played everything out in that last game when I could have easily cast Thirst. But I don't know. I still think we keep up the train here and just keep seeing how this goes. This hand seems okay. We can always find our blue mana with Ecologist, Terrarium. It's not the worst, actually, so I'll keep. So it's nice to have a bit of fixing in the form of an artifact. Ooh, turn 1 Reckoner Raid, alright. So it's one of those games I see. Hopefully no green mana. Oh yeah, black-red deck, hopefully no Anvil. I'm asking for too much, right? I mean, we can always play Circuit Mender on turn 3, so maybe I can just hold up Kami's Flare or kill this. I'm not sure if he's going to go do the whole modify thing, but the damage might add up. I don't know, let's just get our blue mana out of the way. I don't really feel a reason to kill this as... it could just be like a filler 3 drop. I mean, we might need to save the Kami Flare for something more important. Like, we'll be definitely taking a bit of a beating, but we should be still okay here. The Circuit Mender can gain us a bit of life. We can have a Scrapper Steelbreaker to follow up. Simian Sling, okay, so now he can reconfigure, which is kind of annoying. I mean, trading for a 3-2 and him making a Spirit isn't the worst, so... I'll just run out the Circuit Mender and we at least draw a card here, if it trades. He could also have a Trick here if he attacks, so I might not be incentivized to block. But then I don't have anything else to do until next turn except play a 4-drop, but never mind, he plays a Unstoppable Ogre, which hopefully we can block next turn. So let's see here. I think we just run out this Steelbreaker or Moonsnare the Aki Emberkeeper. If I do, he can just recast it. But yeah, let's just play Steelbreaker and hope this 2-3 can hold off the 4-1. Draw a card and just survive that way. Once we're able to stabilize, we can then cast our cheaper cards for value. There's a chance he's also just hyper aggro and then Rabbit Battery, so we'll see here. So, does it on the Menace creature, sure. But we're probably just going to block the Emberkeeper and the Ogier and take 3. Opponent decides to do that instead. I think we block here, since we're just going to be taking more damage. The Menace is annoying though. He does make a 1-1. Maybe that's okay. I can just, but the 4-1 is going to be a problem later, so I think we do this. And then he doesn't get to make a 1-1 token. Could see a Ninja here. Maybe we could see a Pump Trick. He could see the Boar. Okay, Prowler. Okay, that's fine. Prowler's fine. It doesn't really... I guess he gets to reset the Saga, which is a bit of a problem, so it's going to be a little bit rough for me to race in this matchup. And he can just replay this again. Okay, yep, we gotta be careful here. So he can, so what he can do here is he can equip, make this into 4 power. So I might need to put an extra body out there. I mean, we can just run out, I guess, the Kumano faces Kakazan. The Replication Specialist isn't bad, but then if he tries to equip here, it's going to become 4 power, which is going to be kind of awkward. So I don't necessarily want to trade down. So I think the play here is probably just Moonsnare Specialist, or maybe I could also keep up the removal spell. I guess we want to play out the Saga, right, to eventually get the extra body, and then we want to play the Specialist to at least bounce the Emberkeeper. And then I guess he can put 2 reconfigures and trade for my Scrapbreaker, but that's probably a necessary evil I need to take here. And then we probably need to save Kami Flare for the menacing Okiba Raid Reckoner, because that's going to become a problem. He gets to make a bunch of 1-1s. There's an argument for also just taking it, but 5 damage is a lot. Okay, yeah, I think we have to block it here. So in hindsight, maybe the Kami's Flare is better, but at least we don't take a million. And we can still block out the Spirits here. It's not great though. So he can reconfigure here. So he might need to hold up the Kami's Flare this turn. Since if I play I know if I play Replicator I can get more value, but it seems like I can't really take that risk in this spot, so I'm going to just run out the Synthesizer, get my land, play it. I could crack the Synthesizer too, or I can crack the Terrarium to make another body. Yeah, if I crack the Terrarium, he might just equip everything into the Aki Emberkeeper, and maybe I can kill it that way. But I think I might need to save the Kami Flare for the Okiba Raid Reckoner. So not sure here. Maybe I just need to crack this and then abandon the card that I'm about to play. Or maybe I'm fine just sacrificing this, trading for the Ember Keeper, and then keeping up Kami's Flare for the Reckoner. So we'll say go. We'll try this instead. Because the Menace creature is a problem, and if he tries to reconfigure it over and over, it's definitely not going to end up well. So I guess he's going to try to equip, and then we can respond by Kami Flaring. I guess that makes sense. So on the stack, we can at least get rid of this before he makes a token and gains haste. And then we can still trade for the 3/3 if he goes for it. I guess he might suit up a 1/1 token instead. Yeah, I guess that's a problem. I guess I still need to block this. I mean, it's only non-tokens, right? So he won't get a body regardless, so... Unfortunately, I will have to trade off this body, but I think it's still worth blocking here. Just to survive. He still gets his equipments, but then hopefully our bodies can stabilize us. So... probably fine sacrificing this. I know I can play Specialist, but then the thing is he can go Voltron into this, and I don't have a good block. So I think I actually use a Synthesizer here, sacrifice it, and hopefully get something good. Alright, just a lands, unfortunately, so we might have to step a double block, maybe. We'll say go. And hope the opponent doesn't have a removal spell. And just draws a bunch of lands, hopefully. So if he reconfigures, I might as well step a double block. I lose everything, but at least the Ember Keeper is gone. Okay, does nothing. Alright, so now we can run away with maybe the Replication Specialist now, so let's go. Get some of that value going. And then say go. We can attack for 3 and then step some good blocks on the ground now. And then the opponent's just drawing lands, so that's good. Gotta keep in mind the Simian Sling's damage could add up, so that can be quite an issue. Hopefully no Twisted Embrace, but I can still block everything. He still makes a 1/1 token, and then he can reconfigure Shower States Era. That's rough, okay. And he can equip Foley and kill me. Alright, that was a rough game. I mean, the opponent has a really strong deck. And then, yeah, just had the Shatter States Era, so unfortunately that's just game over. But yeah, we almost stabilized, but couldn't get there, so good games. And even if we did stabilize, it would have been a pretty difficult game to win anyways, because this, again, we were forced to kind of stay behind on defense. We didn't have a lot of power to kill him quickly, since he gained all the life from the Reckoner raid. And then the Simian Sling that he was equipping onto was eventually just going to drain us out, assuming we don't gain any life. So it wasn't an easy match either way, so our only hope was to maybe have him just draw a bunch of lands, and then we just find a bunch of removal spells to eventually deal with the Rabbit Batter and the Simian Sling. Well, I think I played that game reasonably well, but the opponent was just too aggressive and just had all this synergy going. So Okiba Reckoner Raid is, yeah, definitely the best common. So yeah, red, definitely prioritize red, 1-drops when you're in red. I think that's definitely the key to having a successful red deck. Alright, so we can turn 1 Simian Sling, turn 3 Search Light Companion, assuming we get our land drops. But on the play, we definitely don't want to mulligan. I'm hoping I don't have to fire off a Kami's Flare off of something that I don't care about that much. And then Scrapyard is a nice follow-up after the Searchlight Companions, or if I think I'm drawing too many lands, I can always play the Koi first. Fang of Shigeki. Yeah, I think it's fine attacking here. And I'm fine trading blows. If he tries to ninjutsu the 1-3 out, I can always kill it with the Kami's Flare. I can also kill it end of turn. I mean, the Searchlight Companions blocks it, so hopefully I get a land here. We'll see go. And land is good off the top, so now we can attack for 1, and then the Companion should be able to blank the Fang of Shigeki. So yeah, it's nice having a copy of this, usually, especially with ninjas. But the fact that it just blanks 1-drops makes it so solid that it's okay, then this card's actually pretty decent. So I need to wait for a 4th land drop. If not, we can reconfigure and maybe start attacking for 2 in the air. Circuit Mender's nice. So I think we can afford to attack with these 2, since I'm fine taking 1 on the way back. And then, yeah, play out the Circuit Mender. Do I trade my Simian Sling? Not sure. I'm afraid of what I'm afraid of is a Kaba Tech Wrecker, the uncommon that can exile. That card can be kind of bad, so I might want to block the Fang of Shigeki, although I lose value from the Simian Sling. This Simian Sling can eventually reconfigure and hit a little bit harder, so maybe I should have kept the 1 button back. Not sure. See a removal end of turn. Okay, I guess if he uses removal, he might not have whatchamacallit, the turtle, so I'm fine maybe taking 1. Preserver, okay, so now it's a 2-2, I can't really block this well, but it's a good target for my Kami's Flare if I need it. Voltage Surge is also not a bad target for it. Yeah, I can attack for 1 and then I guess I can reconfigure for 2, attack for 2, and then kill this. That seems fine. This way I can slow down the clock and still attack him for 2. And we'll decide if we want to Kami's Flare this next turn or just play a Steel Breaker. Yeah, the Kaba Tech Wrecker is just so insane in this format. Like, imagine this coming down, exiling my Searchlight Companion, and also getting a Jukai Preserver to put a counter onto it. That's one of the scariest uncommons to face against in this format, and definitely a pick you would take over most rares. No blocks. See, okay, no turtle. As long as there's no turtle, I'm happy. Ghost Shintai is a little bit annoying. He can kill my 1-1. Okay. But I still think I play out my creature if I get a land. I can always play Tawashi Songbreaker first. If I play Heiko, I can attack next turn, maybe, to get back Circuit Mender, which is kind of cute. I think we still attack for 2 in the air to apply a bit more pressure. And then, I don't know here, it's kind of interesting. The Koi is interesting, but then he gets to attack me for 5. I can also Kami's Flare the Ghost Shintai and play Tawashi Song Shaper, which is interesting too. Because if he has another Saga that can be kind of annoying. I mean, another Shrine that could be kind of annoying. And I also have a Modified creature to deal extra damage, so... And then he might have to trade for the Tawashi Songbreaker, not sure here. If I play this, he's definitely going to keep both of his creatures back. So I might not get value off the Circuit Mender, so... not sure here. Maybe it's just a Scrapyard Steel Breaker, since it holds off the 3-3, and hopefully he doesn't play second Shrine to answer my Searchlight Companion. Could see a removal spell. Okay, Clawing Torment isn't the worst, since it can still attack. But the opponent's getting a little bit aggressive here, so hopefully no Ninja. Hopefully no Springleaf Avenger. Oh no, no Springleaf Avenger, please. Oh no, is it seriously? Okay, that's not the worst. But it's still bad. So what does this do? So you get to exile the top, and then you can cast it. Okay, and he doesn't get anything good here, so luckily we can still attack for 4, and then we can kill this turn. And I think we developed a 2-drop, of course. And yeah, this needs to go, so I'm not going to waste any more time. And then, yeah, get in for 4, might as well. Luckily, he only exiled some lands, and he couldn't even cast them, so that was really... I mean, yeah, luckily that happened, and he didn't get anything too scary, so... So he might just stay back on defense here. Plays a Fang of Shigeki, so he has defense. Luckily, ooh, Seismic Wave can kill both of these. So I could Seismic Wave the Jukai Preserver and take out this Fang of Shigeki and the Jukai Preserver since they're enchantment creatures. And then trade off my Tawashi Song Shaper. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. And then, yeah, this doesn't deal with anything I have on the battlefield, so that's fine. So yeah, I think we just fire off the Seismic Wave next turn. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Wow, kills his own Fang of Shigeki. I guess I might as well applaud him for doing so. So I don't really... I mean, if I kill... The Seismic Wave only deals with a 3-3, but then he still has a blocker. I guess I can get him for 4, but I don't think that's necessary. Maybe it's better off to just run out another flyer, and then we should be okay. Or I can play another artifact and attack here. Yeah, not sure what that play was. Destroying his own shrine. If I attack with this, he can block. I mean, I could just send out my Scrapyard Steelbreaker and Suicide, but I guess if I do that... Yeah, hey, I guess if I attack with a Scrapyard Steelbreaker, I can finish everything off with a Seismic Wave. But then I don't get to develop my board. I think we just play the Sky Swimmer Koi and attack for 2 in the air. That should be okay. And then the opponent's still stuck on defense here. He needs to find removal for my flyers, and we still have the game covered, so... Yeah, the green ninjutsu creatures can be kind of scary. The Springleaf Avenger, I think we can block here, I guess, but... Yeah, we'll take it. Did he top deck another ninjutsu creature? Hopefully no Springleaf Avenger. If he does, we still have lethal. Okay, so just Biting Palm Ninja, that's fine. That doesn't kill my flyers. He can get rid of my Seismic Wave, but that's about it. But, yeah, if he plays the Go Shintai, he doesn't get to kill any of my flyers, so it's just good games. But yeah, the black and green ninjas are scary. So that's why black-green is also just a great color combination, because it can have the ninja package in it. With Springleaf, Kappa Tech Wrecker, and then even those rare ninjas like Biting Palm Ninja, and then the Nashi Moonsage Scion. Alright, 3 and 1, still a way to go. Let's keep playing. Alright, we're facing this Numa Nami. Alright, he's a prolific YouTube streamer. I mean YouTube content creator and a streamer on Twitch. On the play, man, why do we have to have this hand? We can play the Song Shaper on 2, maybe cycle the Twin Shot Sniper to deal 2. I think we risk it here. It's just too important on the play not to mulligan. And hopefully we get our blue mana. Not on time, unfortunately, but Song Shaper is at least fine. Third land would be nice too, to just bring out the Circuit Mender, to be honest. Ecologist Terrarium, okay. So hopefully we at least get a land, and we don't. So I guess we attack for 2. Maybe Sniper waste something end of turn. Say go. Hoping it's not something that draws on the card. Touches Spirit Realm on a 2/2. Alright, I'll take that. If it's, I mean, there's this chance by doing this, it implies he has a ton of removal, but there could be worse, and then we got a land here, so we could play Enthusiastic Mechanaut here, and then get a 2-mana Circuit Mender next turn, which should be fine. Yeah, I don't actually hate that. So then we can also maybe play Network Disruptor and get a discount for our artifacts, so we can even run out the Twin Shot Sniper if we want to. Kami's nice. I guess he can bounce back the touch, but we still get back our creature. So, interesting approach from our opponent here. So let's see here. I guess we can play lands, might as well, and then play an artifact to trigger Tawashi Song Shaper, and maybe play out Network Disruptor and attack. I can also Moonsnare Specialist, but then he can do the silly loop again. So, yeah, let's just run this out. I guess I might want to keep an artifact for, I don't know, the Thirst for Knowledge. I can also set up a block here, and then I guess he can exile my 2/3, which is kind of annoying. I highly doubt he's going to tap anything, but I guess by playing this we can set up a ninja next turn. Even though I don't mind having an extra artifact to mess with here, so let's get him for 6 at least. And then if he wants to exile Circuit Mender, be my guess. I'll take 4, and then Tales of Master Cicero is fine. Okay, I guess we take 4 here. And then I can do the whole ninjutsu thing here, I guess. I guess I can send in these, and then I can finish it off with Twin Shot Sniper and be fine. Or I can just use ninjutsu here. I don't know. Let's just move to combat and see what's up. I guess I can always. Yeah, I could Moonsnare Specialist here, but I feel like I just want to finish this off with Twin Shot Sniper and maybe set that up next turn. So we'll let damage happen, and then we can at least Twin Shot Sniper and then finish off the Geothermal Kami before it becomes a problem. And then, do I play out lands? I think it's okay. I don't like playing on my lands when I have Thirst, but I think our curve ends around 5, so we might as well get the land going. Next turn, I guess we can also just bounce the Circuit Mender back to our hand, or bounce Twin Shot Sniper, and take it from there. So, gets rid of my flyer, makes sense. And fade. Alright, so it's going to take a while. So I could Thirst here. I could also, again, use Specialist, bounce a Circuit Mender for value, draw a card, and then replay it. Or maybe it's fine doing main phase Thirst, bounce the creature next turn, but I guess I won't get to bounce it. So, do I have to? I guess it's up to 1, so I don't have to. So, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's attack. And then before damage, let's just get out the Specialist, draw a card, and then not bounce anything, get in for 3, and then run out the Circuit Mender again. So that was not a bad turn. We'll be taking 5 though, and we also have a 5/5 that's going to keep blocking us, so I'll eventually chump this, but not now. We'll just take 5. Gloomshrieker, that can get back Geothermal Kami for more life gain, so not looking good for us here. And I guess he can bounce back Geothermal Kami. Damn, that's gross. And gain some life. Alright, let's just main phase Thirst then, if we can't seem to do much. Yeah, let's decline discarding Searchlight Companion. Fine, discarding 2 lands. And then I guess we run out the Searchlight Companion here. And we can attack for 1. Yeah, this combo is so ridiculous. The fact that he can Gloom Shrieker and bring back his permanent is kind of gross. I might even just triple block this Shishiro, honestly. Draw a card off the Circuit Mender. I guess this is a 6/6, so I might have to put everything in front. I think I'm fine with that, because if I kill the Geothermal Kami, he just gets it back and gain a ton of life. I could also just chump here, honestly. Take 4, is that bad? And then, I mean, I'm at a pretty decent life total as well. So we could always just take 4, Specialist, and then attack back. And hope I don't die. I think this is fine then. I'm hoping he just casts, Hitsuku. But he doesn't have the mana to activate it, luckily enough. This is kind of interesting. So let's see here. I might need to step on Moonsnare Specialist on maybe... Yeah, I think I need to bounce the Shishiro here. And then maybe bounce the Searchlight Companion. And then make another copy, I guess. And then try to burn him out. I guess that's the game plan that we have to kind of go for in order to win this. And I can't really attack on the ground, so let's just do this. Or I can use a Network Disruptor to tap for next following turn and then attack, but I don't know this. This is a little bit rough. So it has to be a specific card here. I guess a Searchlight Companion can give me an extra chump blocker, just in case. Yeah, I think that's better. And then we probably want to bounce, I guess, Shishiro here. Because even though he can put a counter, it's going to be pretty large. So I don't want to get smacked down by 5/5. Like, he's going to cast it and hit me for 5 next turn. Still. What is this? Double whites, double swamp, so I'm not sure what he has here. I guess he can sacrifice in response if he wants to. So he's holding a priority. I'm actually happy if he decides to sack it. I just don't want this Kami to end up in the graveyard because, again, he can buy it back with Gloom Shrieker, and that can be pretty annoying. And the game plan is just to burn him out, so... He does get Vigilance again, but... Yeah, he's thinking about it. He might also be thinking about sacrificing the Geothermal Kami as well. Okay, he does sack it, so that's not bad. Alright. So at least we have a good creature we can... At least we can block the Hitsuku if we need to. And then we can even sack the land next turn to draw 2 cards, since we will have an enchantment and keeps 2 cards on top, so... Alright. We can still chump. Or maybe even double block Hitsuku if we're afraid he gets red mana. I guess I can take 4. Or chumping isn't the worst. I mean, I'll take it since I might have lethal if he's not careful. And he's at 5 life, so he really needs a lot of life gain here, or at least something extravagant. Imperial Oath, okay, that's fine. I can still block with the 2/3, I can still chump. And Scry's 1 on top, okay. Another Kumano faces Kakazan here, so let's see. If we attack with all, he has 4 blockers. He can block all my ground creatures, so that doesn't seem great. I think I can begin by sacrificing the land. Yep, and then we can draw 2 cards, which is nice here. Ooh, Kami's Flare. I don't have any interesting here. Let's think here. So if we Kami Flare, if we Kami Flare a 2/2, he has 3 blockers. Block, block, block. That's still not lethal because I don't have any modify with the Kumano, so I think we just play the Kumano faces Kakazan here, and then just try to survive. An attack with our flyers, or if I kill one of these, yeah, he's still going to be down to 1, so I think we can only attack with our flyers and stay back and just try to chump block and survive next turn. And then say go, and then we have haste creatures to also play well here, so we can chump the 4/4. Yeah, I guess we can chump the 4/3, maybe shoot down a 2/2, double block Hitsuku, block another 2/2, and we should be okay. Yeah, these games are really tense. And he can also sacrifice Hitsuku to itself as well. Yeah, I think he's planning to sacrifice his Geothermal so he can gain 3 life. So I need to be careful about my blocks next turn. Be careful with my blocks, I mean. And still keeps on top, so kind of scary here. Circuit Mender to gain more life, sure. But he won't be able to cast Gloom Shrieker and Geothermal Kami as well, so... Oh wow, what's this? So he can sacrifice and bring something back. I think that's okay since he only has, I guess it's creature type, right? So it has to share a card type, so as long as a creature, I guess he can bring back the Geothermal Kami, so I guess he can do that. This is only on the end step, right? So, yeah, he's gonna try to do some loop-de-loops here. Okay, sure. He gets to gain back 3 life here. So the question is, do I want to Kami's Flare here end of turn? I might. If I Kami's Flare, he still has 4 blockers to hold off my ground creatures, so it's not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good here. And then he can always Twin Spirit Sister's Call to get back. Wow, yeah, what a nice combo from the from Nami here. Yeah, it's not looking good. I still think we attack for 2. Like, if I kill this again, he's still gotta be at a decent life total, so he's just doing his loop-de-loop shenanigans. I just need to hope I maybe kill him next turn. And then say go here. I guess we can exile the Geothermal Kami now. Yeah, maybe I should just kill this now, end of turn, because he could just because I can exile it now. End of turn, he can also just Spirit Sister and bring back, I guess he can sacrifice it to Hitsuku before it ends up getting exiled because it needs to be dealt damage. So, I mean, he was tapped out, so maybe it was the right time to use it, not sure. So I'm hoping he taps out here. Yeah, he's just going to keep gaining life, which is not going to be easy for me to win. Yeah. And he also has black mana still for the Hitsuku. So if I try to respond with Kami Flare, Kodama, the West Tree. Okay. Yeah, let's just exile the... Ooh, I guess this is a reach creature, so never mind, gotta kill the Kodama here. And Voltage Surge, I guess also isn't the worst. I can sack my Circuit Mender. I will lose a good blocker though, so I might want to hold on to this actually. Like, I can hit for 2, but that's about it. He has nothing to get back except Tails. I guess he can only get back creatures. So I guess I just hit for 2 here, and then I guess if I voltage Surge now, I can draw a card and take out the Kami, but then I don't have any good blockers. I mean, I'll lose a good blocker. So I might want to wait before I do so, because he might just do an all-out attack next turn, and if I don't top deck anything great, that's going to become a problem. Like, for example, if I kill this now, I draw a card, I can block. I guess I'll still be okay, but it's still not a good spot to be in. Alright, we'll say go. I think I need the Circuit Mender as an extra blocker here. I guess he's going to sacrifice his Circuit Mender to draw a card. Okay, sure. And then he gets a Scry too. And then I guess he can just keep bringing it back and gaining life, so... yeah, this enchantment can be kind of busted, I have to imagine. plays the Twin Sister, sacrifices this creature, end of turn. I guess he can loop back Circuit Mender into Geothermal Kami. We'll see what the opponent does here. Decides to attack. I guess I might as well double block and draw a card. Yeah, I hate this Hitsuku because it prevents me from exiling his stuff. I can always just chump it, honestly, and just pass, since I'm not sure if I can kill him with an all-out attack if he just keeps gaining 2 life per turn. I guess I might want to just block in Voltage Surge Hitsuku. And I guess if I do that with Etchings, they both end up exiled. So this is interesting. But I guess Hitsuku can sacrifice itself as well. So it's not looking good here. Yeah, I guess because Hitsuku prevents it from getting exiled. So you know what? Let's actually go for the trick here. Draw a card. Let's get rid of Hitsuku before he. I don't know if this was correct. Probably not. I don't know. That was kind of maybe bad here. Okay. So it just ends up getting sacked, and it still stays in the graveyard, so he can decide to bring it back next turn if he wants to. But then if his creatures die, they end up in exile at least with Etchings. So, I mean, I guess if I deal damage to it, at the very least, it ends up getting exiled. So, okay, at least we get to draw a card. It's not great though, because the Spirit Sister's Call can just keep going off. Okay, it's exiled at the very least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still kind of in a bad spot here. Wow, Assassin's Sneak on a 1/1/2. Alright, so this is not an easy game. Maybe I shouldn't have sacrificed a Circuit Mender now, since we don't have any good blockers against these 2/2s now, and we have to put our Moonsnare Specialist in front of them. Yeah, it's not looking good. But at least we can exile maybe the Kami, block here and then block here, and be fine with it. Because he can't bring them back, since we have a Teachings of Kumano, so maybe I should have considered holding on to the Circuit Mender, since it just held everything back. Wow, even though Kiva Reckoner Rate, so I don't think we could have won this either way. But yeah, I'm finally seeing the potential Spirit Sister. Ooh, Scriberite Steelbreaker isn't the worst. Alright. I don't think I attack here. Let's go. At least we can block Hitsuku, kill it, and then it ends up in exile. But I'm going to be pretty far behind here. Just too much value from all this card advantage, and even Commune Define and Enchantments. So. And another Kiva Reckoner Rate. Alright, I don't think I'm winning this. Good games. Managed to pull off this Twin Spirit Sister combo. Okay, alright, I might be sold. But the fact is, if it wasn't for Hitsuku being able to sacrifice his creatures to prevent them from getting exiled, the combo wouldn't have worked, I don't think. Because you do need a sacrifice outlet to at least put the creatures in your yard to prevent, again, the Kumano Faces Kakazan from exiling. So, yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how that works. It's fine because the Twin Sisters Call says at the end step, the creature gains, if this creature will leave the battlefield and it exile it instead. I think that's what it does, and then he was able to bring back his creature from the graveyard. I don't know. Still might not be sold on it, but I think it still requires a little bit more investments and combo synergy potential to go off with the Twin Sisters. But I'm still, maybe it's just a bug on Arena they haven't fixed, because I mean, it left the battlefield, right? So the Circuit Mender should have been exiled at the very least, so he couldn't get back. So it's kind of interesting. So it must be a bug on Arena, because it should be exiled. when it leaves the battlefield, because that's what the twin sisters, the soul sisters, state. I need to I need to look up that card again, but I'm pretty sure it says if the creature would leave the battlefield, it would end up in exile, so he can only bring it back once. Alright, this hand isn't amazing. We have some more, like, late game cards on the draw. I still think we keep it here and hope we get lucky, since we have a dual land to fix for our mana at the very least. I hate having to cast this on turn 2, though. I'm probably not going to cast it on turn 2. It's just too early. Just play a slow game and hope the opponent doesn't beat us down. With a Kappa-Tech Wrecker, of course. Ooh, Kami Spider, let's just kill that immediately. This card cannot sit around. That is not a card I want to see. He could also Season and Renew it back eventually in green. But Kappa-Tech Wrecker cannot sit around. That is definitely not a card I want to face. Okay, Song Shaper. Right. Can Specialist this and attack for 2 next turn. Another Bamboo Grove Archer. Yeah, I'm fine running out 1 Specialist, and then the next turn we can think about what we want to do here, so... that didn't really accomplish much. Alright, next turn I guess we're fine running out an Experimental Synthesizer then. Sky Swimmer Koi actually is interesting. Yeah, we'll play Koi first, and then we can loot with it at the very least. Sigo. Get some nice card advantage going, and then eventually find a way across these for each creatures. Hopefully no Master's Rebuke on my Sky Swimmer Koi. It probably has it here. Yeah, I'll probably see a Master's Rebuke. It's always a sign when they target their spell. Thirst for Knowledge isn't the worst. I still think we run out the Synthesizer. And there's a Simian Sling, which I also don't mind. We can also reconfigure onto the Moonsnare Specialist, so... Right, that's not bad. And then we might as well reconfigure to maybe offer trade. Do I want to play out land? I think 1 land is fine since we're playing to sack the Experimental Synthesizer for 3 next turn, so... We might as well do some trading, get rid of these blockers, and then hopefully eventually clear a path. But yeah, the green decks can definitely grind. Blossom Prancer, wow, even more insane stuff. So yeah, the green can definitely dirtle forever, I think. Twin Shot Sniper isn't the worst, but it doesn't kill anything. So I think we sacrifice Synthesizer and hope we don't exile something too important. That's a good one. So if I attack here, I guess I can finish it off. But he's definitely not going to block, I don't think so. Yeah, there's no reason. I guess I could have a Specialist. Yeah, this would have been a good card to not exile, unfortunately. So just gonna get outgrinded by the green decks, and they just look... Yeah, the green decks are just so powerful in this set. Too much high toughness going on, so much value, it's just kind of nuts. I might just Thirst end of turn. Again, I don't like discarding, but it might be a necessary evil to find an answer to both of these. I could also, I guess I can, yeah, I might as well Thirst and then kill the Jukai trainee next turn. And we can at least discard some lands, at the very least. Hopefully no turtle. I should maybe play land out because he can counter for 3. Yeah, could see the turtle here. Alright, it's just Essence Capture, so it's not that bad. Still pretty bad. Yeah, it's still pretty bad. I think we're just going to lose here. Alright, good games. I don't think I can beat this. Just too much value. Green is just too strong. Alright, I thought I had a really nice artifacts deck, but I realized it's just not as good as the enchantment stuff. So, had high hopes. Our deck had a lot of synergy going. A lot of powerful things going on, but that deck just had too much too much power, too much value, too much stats. Like a 1/1 is never going to deal with a 5 mana 4/4 that gained them life or drew a card, or anything of that nature. So yeah, unfortunately, maybe Red just got the short end of the stick in this format. So maybe just hard to avoid red. So I was expecting to at least get one more win, but yeah, that sucks. I mean, whatever. I mean, it still is a really good deck, honestly. If you look at it, and from a regular perspective, let's imagine green wasn't as oppressive and the format um, benefit small creatures, and it was more aggressive, and there's more stuff you can answer with like the removal spells in red. I think this would have been a really solid deck. A lot of early aggressive one drops, some nice twos. The threes also weren't bad, and then in the late game, specialists, koi, steel breaker, and then Heiko could have been ways to kind of recur some of the cards. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's good enough for this format. But it's still a strong deck, I have to say. We did had some really fun with summer games, but I think if you're trying to win Neon Dynasty draft, you want to focus on green enchantments more than you would red artifacts. But I guess we were just kind of forced into red anyways, in a sense, since our first pack wasn't anything exciting, and we had to take like a Kami's Flare second pick because the pack was just almost just really dry and dead. So yeah, I don't know. Banishing Slash versus Heiko. Maybe he's Maybe he's banishing Slash now. But yeah, I still think it's a cool deck. But just again, um, sadly for the red artifacts, it just has to either come together or kill it. Either has to come together, kill the opponent quickly, or you just lose to all these value engines like what Newmont did to us, and then the previous opponent just double bamboo Grove Archer on turn 3 was just a backbreaking. So yeah, all right. Unfortunately, couldn't get to 4, but at least hey, we got a nice ninjas deck, and we kind of understand how this format plays out now. So yeah, the best decks I think are the green decks that are playing lots of enchantments or in sagas, and then second place probably goes to ninjas. Third, I think, goes to maybe blue, black, white. I don't know, or maybe the artifacts deck is actually the third best deck in this format, and we were just kind of unlucky having to face against green decks. Should have went over that pack, but Kamano faces Kakazan and Tails of Master Shishiro were the first 2 cards there. But probably would take Tails there just to lean towards green. And then Kabatek Wrecker, the Mythic Uncommon versus powerful, close to bomb rare. I mean, it's not bomb. It's still answerable. It's still a 3/3 flyer, which is a good stat line. And then even if the creature gains indestructible, what happens is if let's just say you attack with the creature or you block with the creature, um, you flash in Koyodai to protect it from dying. Even if yeah, sure they become indestructible and that's really powerful. But if Koyodai ends up dying in the meantime, then the creature that just took the damage will end up dying too because it will no longer be indestructible. But yeah, this card's great. I don't know what I would take between these two. They're both very close, actually. I think this card is kind of incredible. Maybe I would take Kappa to stick in green, stay with green. It's kind of sad passing up a powerful win condition and a card that can give something indestructible. So maybe Koyodai. If it doesn't get answered, you can just gain so much value off of a 2-for-1ing the opponent, and then a 3/3 flyer to help close out the game. And then Kappa is just can also just be pretty insane if you pick up some blue ninjutsu creatures or black. If you're able to just keep bouncing this back to your hand and then sneaking in with some attacks and then exiling their artifacts or enchantments, it can just yeah, it's just going to generate so much value that the opponent won't be able to come back from. So yeah, it's close. I don't know which is the right pick. Maybe I'd still take Koyodai just to have fun and try out the set, because the set just recently. I mean, the set's coming out today. I did a lot of pre-release already, but the official set release is today, February the 18th. So yeah, why not play the rare? Try to have fun. Don't focus on winning too much. This isn't like a GP or anything, or you're trying to win a high stakes draft tournament or anything. So my advice is try everything out. Try to even though like I had a bit of a bad experience in red, you can have a great experience drafting red at Friday Night Magic, or maybe I was just really unlucky. But But yeah, I would just recommend just staying open, just draft all your colors, try reading out, learn the hard way. Like if you find out that the artifacts deck isn't just is underwhelming, just learn it by doing it once, lose a couple of games, and then just learn from the mistakes and all. So, anyways, yeah, hope you guys enjoy watching this video. At least I got a nice 7 wins, and then I do have 5K gold. Unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with quick draft midnight hunts, but I'm not going to do any flashback drafts anymore since we all know how toxic this set can be if you just force a blue black deck. But I'm probably just going to do that after this. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy my videos, and as always, have a wonderful day. Bye.